Hello, everybody. How are you guys doing this morning? My draw, welcome in. Zen, welcome. Oh, I got your stuff. You're selling your stuff. That's awesome, dude. That's awesome. Congrats on getting that sold. All right, it's time for painting. So, I'm gonna grab a small brush and we're gonna start with highlights. I have the Perturabo Acryl Silvers here. We're just taking these colors and we're just going to start building up highlights. I have dark silver first. We're going to go through over this whole model and get this silver. We'll start building up more color as we go. This stage is more or less a touch up and it's like a refinement, kind of reinforcing base colors. Spartan Assault Tank and the 10 Cataphracti. That's awesome. Are you gonna sell the Praetors or are you gonna keep those? This guy doesn't want them, yeah. Those, man, those Praetors are fantastic minis. Or just like blank slates. Like, there's a lot of customization. And I think one of them, the mini doesn't allow you to have it without the cape. But it's only because of a shoulder pad. And I have an STL that gives you the shoulder pad minus the cape if you don't want a cape on the guy. I think it's the sword one. And the other one I think can just be built without a cape anyway. The guy with the axe. So, you know, if you want to make one into some crazy Night Lord's Centurion, you can definitely do that pretty easily. Just load them down with Night Lord's bits and skin things and stuff. How's everybody doing today? We got rules from GW. Rules, covering some of the dreadnoughts, but the Leviathan, the big Saturnine dreadnought in particular. It kind of showed off its rules page. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. I have, yeah, I'm not like, I like it. I think it's cool. I think it has a role and everything, but I don't think it's like too much. I think it's going to be tough, but it's expensive. It has horrible melee stats. So you just lock the thing up in melee, and it's probably stuck. Not for the whole game, because you can like fall back and everything, but its guns seem good, but not overly done. I already lined up a trade with someone to. I'm going to trade the Plasma Bombard, and I'm going to get a second disintegrator, the heavy disintegrator cannon. So that's what I'm doing. Hey, Blue, what's going on, man? How are you doing? I think that's good for that shoulder pad. We can do this underside here. I like the little nub that fits in there, but yeah, okay. First shoulder down. Second shoulder. So we're just using dark silver first. have proacryl steel and proacryl silver down on the wet palette to mix in when we need it. So the big thing I noticed about Perturabo is his armor is not not all dingy like a lot of his Legion is. So doing some painting. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. It sounds like a fun couples activity. So I should finish Purdy today, but his base might take me into the weekend. His base and then varnishes, and I want to do some weathering type things on him. But yeah, we're gonna do that. Hey, Pato, welcome. How are you doing today? Zen, your Xiphon is completely printed and ready to go. I'll try to print that Ultron Mini today or tomorrow. What's your lineup of commission work looking? It's pretty short. The list is pretty short at the moment. So I have one other kind of big project after this one. That's all I have in the immediate future. I have another possible one, but that won't start until like August or September, just because of stuff being released. But arm's looking great. Thanks. Thank you. We're finally getting to the highlights on the silver on this mini. So some progress on my conquest minis in the evening. Oh, nice. Good deal. Why, you need something? Oh, God, welcome. How are you doing? Also, what are some crazy emotes? What is going on with those? Lurking. Heading to bed? Yeah, that's fair. That's alright. Well, thanks for stopping by and saying hi. Doing our best to finish Perturabo this week, but I haven't touched his base yet, so probably get a good 3 hours on it today, but that be enough? Most likely not, but what's your Conquest faction, Pato? I don't play Conquest, but am familiar. I've painted a Conquest mini or two. More my self-mades. Oh, you made the emotes yourself. That's great. Nice. Can't get a good angle to these areas. Okay. I think initial highlight on this arm is done. We can go to his body. Let's see. Let's take a look. So those colors. Okay. Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you, Culture American, and good morning. We got Purdy here. And again, this is just Pearl Curl Dark Silver is what we're going with right now. Oh, there are print lines on this mini. That's wild. Print lines on the spin cast resin. Crazy. Remote on LinkedIn when description. Oh, weird. Yeah, they're just like baiting people, right? That's annoying. That's why you like report them or something, right? I had done that when I was looking for IT jobs after I got laid off, and I remember there were places that were either like dishonest or like deceptive with their listings, and I would report them to like Glassdoor and Indeed and all those websites. Yeah, I'd straight up report them for like false advertising or like false statements about the position and stuff. Need some Domitars. Yeah. I mean, I would happily paint some. This mini is not mine. This is a commission, so. But if a client wants Domitars, I will happily paint Domitars because those are cool minis, so. Matters. Yeah, there was one. I think it worked when I reported it. I think it was like an MLM that was not advertising itself as such, and yeah, and I reported it. because it like talked about salary information or something, and MLMs don't pay salary. So I think it worked. If I remember, that was years ago. But the Saturnine stuff, no, the actual minis haven't come out. The set hasn't come out. They did show off the rules for the new Dreadnought though, but that's as much as we got. It's just been articles every day about it. The most popular rumor is that next Sunday they're going to put Saturnine. They're going to talk about it. So that means pre-orders on, is that July 5th? And then release on July 19th, which would be perfect for me based on my schedule. And I am going, if that set comes out, then I'm going to stream the crap out of assembling and painting that set, because I am pretty excited. So the Dread when it drops. Oh, that's cool. Okay. I'd asked you yesterday, what wash did you use to turn the light bronze more gold? Yeah, that's a good question. So it started off as light bronze, and I mixed a wash. It was a mix of Gilliman Flesh and Agoros Dunes contrast paint. And I mixed a little flow improver and contrast medium into that. So yeah, the ratio was really wonky. It was like 5 drops Gilliman Flesh, 4 drops Agoros Dunes, and then 2 drops each of flow improver and contrast medium. So kind of weird ratio, but those 2 colors came together and made a nice orangey gold. I was really happy with. Yeah, if you want me to paint a Dreadnought, I'd be more than happy to. Those Dreadnoughts look like fun to paint. Big blank canvases for stuff, which is really nice. Good space for transfers or like freehand if you want to do it, or just like crazy designs. Are you gonna get that set, Blue, or are you just gonna find a Dreadnought and buy it like from someone breaking the box apart? Circle the robots. Yeah. Hey, War Machine, what's going on? How you doing? Yeah, Domitars are the robots. Yeah, that follow him around. His like bodyguard, like the shields and hammers and stuff. Yeah, the Iron Circle. Yeah, they're a version of Domitar robot, right? You just want the Dread. Yeah. What if I just bought a second box and then just broke it up? You could have the Dread. I just want the Marines out of the box and maybe the Centurion after as a second box. All right, that might have to be a thing. I might need to buy some people who want some of the extra stuff, and then if I can get some people committed, I might break a box down. You get the Dread, and I'll make sure the other stuff finds a home. Yeah, I'd be down with that. Painted Dark Angels. You want it painted like 40k Dark Angels colors though, right? Or would you keep it like 30k, like the black? It's looking great. Thank you, War Machine. I appreciate it, man. It's been a while since I've seen you around. Crusader skin speed paint all over some of my Aquilans, and it did some fun coppery bronze. Nice. Yeah, I figure if you get the right kind of flesh tone over like a bronze, it would make it look like a really good gold. I've done it before, but I think I'm more happy with this tone of gold than from my previous uses. So 40k. Okay, just to match everything. That's fair. Could you use the battery gun in a Mechanicum army? What battery gun are you talking about? Like the graviton thing or what? I'm not sure which gun you're talking about. I figure most of the guns have batteries on them. So there are 4 guns that'll end up coming with the Saturnine thing. Oh, you're talking about the turret, the emplacement. Um, I think it's called an Arachne quad accelerator platform or something. Yeah. That one probably just Marines. Yeah, that one's probably just a Marine army. However, with allied armies and stuff, you can probably bring it in a Mechanicum army. It just has to be like a Space Marine one. Yeah, a full army of just defensive turrets. I think that needs to happen, and I'm cool with that. See, I love the Sakaran tank, and the Sakaran has the dual accelerator autocannon, so the gun on that turret is just basically 2 of those Sakaran guns stacked on each other, and I love that. I love the big autocannons. Like heavy, automatic cannons are always cool. Gives me the Bradley vibes, with a 25 mil Bushmaster. War Machine Firstborn. Okay, on February. Dang. Yeah, I understand, mate. Yeah, no hard feelings at all. That's exciting. Exciting and terrifying, right? Everybody healthy? Everybody doing well? Batteries included throwback movie or Plants vs. Zombies 40k, what? Yeah, you just play Plants vs. Zombies 40k. You just put down the defensive guns. Tell your enemy to walk toward you. Okay. Looks like we have almost all of his lower body. We need his crotch plate here. Rough month. A few hospital stays. Yeah, okay. I get it. Saw Firstborn and thought Space Marines. No, we don't call them Firstborn here. They're OG. So that's why. That's funny though. Alright. Legs got their first highlight. Yeah, we got everything. So let's move our way up. Let's take a Dark Angels, yeah. That's crazy. Yes, Karen tanks are really cool. The Rapier batteries are coming out next Saturday. I have one set on pre-order. So I'll be probably that Sunday. I'll be streaming. I'll be assembling it and shenanigans, painting it soon and everything. So you guys will see it on stream if you don't want to watch other videos about it. But I'm really excited. I got the quad mortar and the laser destroyer version. Hey Misfit, what's going on? Looks like 40k tanks, yeah. Tanks are a big reason I started playing 30k. Yeah. Thanks, Misfit. I appreciate it. Rare day off, seeing the background doing some office work. Hey, that's cool, man. Yeah, it's great to see you too. It's funny. I was going through. I had to move around a lot of stuff in my house recently, and I was going through my it was my old world army and my vampire counts, my skeleton regiments, which we called the painting horde, and had all the names on the base. I saw your name. I was like, man, I wonder how he's doing. Because I think your mini might be like one of the front rank ones, so it's one that gets seen a lot. Oh, I do need to warn you guys, the Painting Sun will be joining us probably this afternoon. So he's going to be continuing his salamanders that he's painting. First works, yeah. And I understand people come and go, you know. We'll find other things to do, or my channel gets boring, which I understand, or just like, yeah, like life happens. And I don't watch a lot of streamers. There's kind of very few streamers that I watch, and I always feel bad when I'm not on while they're on. Like I got something going on or whatever. Still going through, and like I said, his armor is pretty bright and clean. Fun fact about this mini, this is going to be the first knight I've painted. There's a destroyed knight on his base, and I have never painted a knight before, so it'll be a first for me. Yoshi, what's going on? Inside of there, it's gonna be all covered. You hear loud noises in the background. That is the Painting Sun just being weird. I will say, just as a fair warning, the power company is working on power lines in our neighborhood or something. I'm not quite sure where they're working, but we got a text this morning that apparently somebody lost power in our neighborhood and they were working on things. So if my power happens to cut out all of a sudden, it's probably because they're working on things. So Sir Strumming Fish joining on YouTube. How you doing, man? Lots of weird highlights in here. You got battery backups? No. Medical stuff that was life-threatening. Oh man, okay. You bouncing back? You doing okay, or still in it? That sucks to hear, man. you need to be interred into a dreadnought? Is that the route we're going? Brother Ancient Yoshi, is that? Oh, okay, okay, wow. Crazy dude. Yeah, that is scary. Yeah, it's Cinderbest. It's yeah, it's one thing when it's us that are that have the issues, but yeah, when it's your spouse, it's like a whole other level, right?
First of all, let me take just a moment to thank you for allowing me back into your home.
Hey, ROP name, welcome. How are you doing? Thank you for the follow. Yeah. Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, I know my wife is she's a very independent person. She's a strong, independent woman, you know. But I am extremely protective of her with even like little things, and it's not I don't think I'm like overbearing with it, but like, you know, she has like food allergies, and I'm always like a hawk, like making sure that like things are good, and just like, yeah, like trying to do everything I can to make sure like she's always good and in a good spot and stuff. And yeah, the life threatening stuff is it's extra scary, especially if you can't do anything for it, you know.
I believe every day's a
Hey,
good
thank you
day
for the
when you paint.
sub. Thank you. How are you doing? Are you in the hobby, ROP, or are you just checking it out for the first time, or is this what brings you in? I think we're doing an alright job on Perturabo so far. Got that. Okay, I think we're done with this silver. And I think we move on to a brighter tone of silver. Painting minis, but so little time. I understand, yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of all I do is paint minis, but back just a second, guys.
I believe every day's a good day when you paint.
Alright, alright. Hey, Yoshi, thank you for the sub. I appreciate that. And I hope that it's, you know, just good news from here on out. Because, yeah, that's, scary times. Ape train? No. We don't do that here. This place is too quiet for a hype train. ROP, what kind of minis you like painting? Is it like Warhammer stuff? Is it, you know, 3D prints, or like specific sculpts that you like? Is other games? What tickles the painting fancy? Okay. I think that's a decent spot for this silver, so let's make another one. Back home now. A lot of rest and recovery. Yeah, good, good. Okay. Fantasy for D&D.
Every day's a good day when you paint.
Someone just gifted a bunch of subs? Dang. Thanks. Thank you for the 5 gifted subs. Was that you, Blue? Who was that? Who was that? Can I look this up? I think it said anonymous, didn't it? Cursed anonymous people. What? Yeah. Well, thank you for the gifted subs, guys. And I guess getting a hype train going. It's anonymous. Thank you so much. And Bug King, Nursemancer, Crazy Kyle, Annie on Film, and Murdoch. Welcome in. Hopefully you enjoy the ad-free viewing. Yeah, Legend. Yeah, that's who it was. Fantasy for D&D. I've painted anime, chibi, Marvel. Okay, interesting. Do you like the Nolzors Marvelous Unpainted Miniatures? I love those. They're so cheap and they're so like fun to paint. And like classic fantasy stuff is always really cool. So it's good to just like, yeah, here's a monster and I know what it is because you know, a Manticore has been a Manticore for the past 40 years or whatever. Yeah, from his Tower of Lies. Yeah. Okay. Let's grab this silver and we're gonna do a little more toward the edges with this silver. No print lines on this thing except for this foot. So it has them pretty bad. That's how they show off their awesome casting techniques, by showing that they can still cast the print lines from the master.
I believe every day's a good day.
Or gifted subs. Was that War Machine? Did you just give some subs, man? Was that 5 more subs? Dang, man, thank you. Thank you, guys. To Anonymous, yeah. It's me, 3D printed Hulk. Oh, that's cool. Okay, inverse lightning. That sounds difficult. That sounds like fun, though. That's really cool. Man. Is that seriously level 4? What's wrong with you guys? You get some emotes, right? I appreciate it, guys. Happy Thursday, everybody. Thank you for all the love. This is all going toward my my Saturnine box and books that are inevitably going to cost me like $400. So don't tell my wife that. It's a business expense, you know. Rose being a good painter, Dad. By the way, how many little ones? Just the one little one for me. You know, he is 8 years old, and he actually is planning on joining me on stream here in a little bit. He paints minis with me. We call him the Painting Son. And he definitely wants his own Horus Heresy army. As you know, Dad plays the game. So I 3D printed him some Space Marines, and he's been working on them. He'll be joining us a little bit later. Tell her the cost of paint has gone up. Yeah. I mean, you know, legally speaking, it's all a business expense anyway. So at least I'm not paying, or at least it goes against my my taxable income, right? My wife, this is how I don't pay taxes. Jeez, guys. Who was that? Was that Zen? Zen, thanks, man. Thanks for the gifted subs, dude. Valreth, hold on. I didn't even thank the people in the last one. Let's see, we got, Ulfgar the Awful, Cultured American, Hulls, Lil Skinks, and, Social Alien. And then Valreth, Classic Gary, NFR Fred, Helgrot, and FPS Rocco. Man, thanks for the subs, guys. Thank you so much. Zen and War Machine and Anonymous. Wild, guys. It's wild. Thank you, guys. New hype train record. Is that seriously a record? No kidding. Oh yeah, level 5. Dang. Alright, we cut it out. We got the record. We don't need to do any more. Thanks, guys. Hello. Hello, thank you for the sub. You guys are too generous. We'll have that Saturnine box. It will happen. Could you imagine if I did like a donation goal for Saturnine box? How like selfish would that be? You know what? You know what I really want to do, Zen? You know what I really want to do? I want to stream Warhammer games. I know it's too difficult and it's annoying, and there's like no real good times to do it, but sounds like fun. Just be like Rogel Dave. Drink milk and stream Warhammer all night. What's going on, Loaf? Be hard to watch chat. Yeah, you'd have to you need like a computer setup with like chat and like big letters, like big type and everything, and like a whole thing. Top-down cameras and tablets for chat. Yeah, I have to move everything. It'd be wild. Make a Kickstarter to pay for my hobby. Yeah, see, that's the real way of doing it. Yeah, just a Kickstarter and be like, yeah, I just want money to buy miniatures is all, and books so I can play games. What do you get out of it? Thank you. Need someone to read in chat and respond it. Yeah, like Monument does. Another one that does a good job with live streaming games is Mountain Miniatures. He does the old world, and he actually has he does Heresy battle reports, but he doesn't live stream Heresy. He just live streams the old world like 2 or 3 nights a week. But they have like the mini wargaming studio that they do stuff out of. So, like they have the setup. But yeah, they used to read chat, but now they have he actually hired somebody to manage all the PC stuff while they play games. Darkest Sun, yes, Purdy. Yep. He is he's such a nice mini to paint. It's been fun. He's time consuming, but he's a Primarch, so he kind of should be time consuming. I'm gonna go through. Maybe I'll make a video after he's done and before I ship him out. I just want to talk about how I assembled him. Because if you're gonna get this mini, you need to know how this mini works. Because there's no way like you can just glue this mini in and everything works. Like you can't get him into and out of his display base without magnets. I like to get a couple Primarchs. They weren't so expensive. Yeah, no kidding. This so I'm really fortunate. I own one Forge World Primarch, 130k Primarch, thanks to a gift from Zendraw, but I have painted, this is the 4th one I've painted, which is appropriate because he's the 4th Legion Primarch. But yeah, I was actually thinking about like, man, it would cost $3,000 almost, not quite $3,000, right? To buy all the Primarchs. Yeah. Ian Dempsey is my favorite streamer. He uses very high grade gear. Yeah. The problem with high grade gear is it's very expensive. Cameras are extremely expensive. Cameras and lenses. And good lighting is very expensive. Like I have revamped my setup a couple times, and it's always like a crazy big expense. Yeah, hype train. Nice. Thank you very much, guys. I really appreciate it. That's a ton of subs. I really appreciate it, everybody. Very generous of you. And all the new subscribers, welcome in. Hope you enjoy your ad-free viewing. I don't play a lot of ads. I try to not be annoying. I don't do like ad breaks or anything. But yeah, it's always nice. Nice not to have that, initial ad when you run in. It's always like a mood killer, right? I have Kurz and Perturabo as 3D prints. Yeah, I just painted Kurz. Yep, I just finished Kurz last week. For Zendro, actually, it was his mini. So Dogwitch game. Even though it's only a short demo. Yeah, is it like really hard or something? I looked it up briefly. I didn't watch anything on it yet, but I looked it up and it was just like Northern Lion painting it, and he just like apparently kept getting wrecked in the game or something. It's fun. Okay, it's Slay the Spire. Okay, interesting. So I've never played Slay the Spire proper. I understand the game and I've seen it played, but I've never actually played it. That's cool. Alright, I think we got his legs, and these highlights are coming into their own. We're going to get a nice bright highlight next. It's going to be nice. Another on the list to get to grips with. Yeah, Night Lords are cool. It's fun though. It's Slay the Spire but with lo-fi beats. Oh, interesting. Yeah, this Perturabo mini is great. It's a very stout mini. There's not a lot of like little fragile parts. Very minimal warping and things I need to mess with. And there were exactly 2 spots with bubbles. I had bubbles, like resin bubbles, and they were both on the right hand or the hammer. One was on like the fingers and one was on the hammer. They were pretty easy fixes. Just filled it with little green stuff. That was good. General Warhammer question. Anyone listening? Yeah, absolutely. I love answering Warhammer questions. Bring it on. Since this is brighter, I'm trying to not get quite as to the minis. These big flat areas, though, I'll still paint. Okay, when they send stuff to Legacy or whatever to the old world, it's a death sentence. Make new cool beastmen. Okay, so Legacy and then beastmen for the old. So beastmen in the old world are actually one of the main factions. So if you're playing the old world, like square base, rank and flank old world, they will get updates and rules updates. So for beastmen specifically, you don't have to worry about that. As far as legacies go, that's a bit more of a complicated question. So all 5 of the like GW main games have legacy units. They have legends or legacy or whatever they call them. So you have 40k, Age of Sigmar, Heresy, the Old World, and Middle Earth. They all have that legacy stuff, and they are minis that get like free PDF rules. In that GW says they're not going to update, they're not part of the main game, and if you go to a tournament that is a GW ran tournament, then they won't be like legal to use. So that is legacy. two games as out of those five, as far as I'm aware, two of the games legacy actually matters, where people actually pay attention to. What's up, Star Laser? So in 40k, legacy is like a cuss word. So like, if you don't bring legacy units to a pickup game, legacy are where units go to die. That's 40k. Age of Sigmar, I don't play Age of Sigmar, but my understanding is it's very similar. A unit's in Legacy, an army's in Legacy, then it's done. That's it. Like, nobody touches it, it's out of the game, nobody cares anymore. For the other three games, so the Old World, Heresy, and Middle Earth, I know, and those are like my three main miniature games. Legacy is the complete opposite. It is just another part of the game. Everybody I know plays with Legacy stuff. My Old World army is Vampire Counts, which is a Legacy army. Heresy, I've never met someone playing Heresy that even asked for permission to use Legacy units. It's just part of the game. And Middle Earth just released their Legacy units for the rules, which is a first for Middle Earth. And they're just part of the game for everybody. The attitude for all these games is it's just part of the game. So, depending on the game you play, you'll find like varying degrees of attitudes toward what legacy means. For the Old World specifically, I think, Legacy originally was like, they're not going to get updates, they're not going to get new miniatures or anything, which hardly anyone's gotten new miniatures at this point, but the Old World is doing so much better than GW expected. Like, I would not be surprised if the Old World is outselling Age of Sigmar right now. And that sounds ridiculous, but I seriously would not be surprised about it. They have been like going nuts releasing stuff for the Old World, and I think it has done way better than GW ever expected. When that comes to Legacy, I think the Old World is going to get a second edition soon. Like hey, that was a test, here's the right and proper edition we're going to stick with for a while. And I think that Legacy armies are going to start coming back into the game as full armies. And I don't think that's necessarily dependent on another edition coming. I think a lot of it is they're the model lines that make up these Legacy armies are leaving Age of Sigmar, which GW doesn't allow its lines to compete like that. So, you can't have models in Age of Sigmar and the Old World according to GW, as far as their sales go. So yeah, I think as that happens, like Vampire Counts will become an army, and they'll use the older minis they'll release for the Old World. You won't be using the new Death Rattle stuff, which you can because I do. But yeah, that's just kind of how those armies will go. Okay. Display of Legacy units in LTR last week. My opponent didn't even question it. Yeah, it's just a thing. I'm excited to get back into some Lord of the Rings here with my dwarves. Makes sense. Yeah, Rip Creek Grenadiers. Legacy is 40k version of card game rotations, which is they can force you to buy new models each year. Yeah. AOS players already have stuff, so that makes it different for AOS. Like, the sales are going to be consistent but lower, right? Instead of everybody buying new armies. Yeah, it's mostly old models that get legend. Yep, that's true. I never got the impression AOS is more of a success compared to the Old World. Yeah, and I think Age of Sigmar probably has some similar issues that Warhammer Fantasy did when Warhammer Fantasy was struggling and GW's like, hey, we need to completely change everything. It's that, like, the fantasy armies, people just aren't as into it. I guess Americans aren't as into it, and Americans make up a huge portion of the market, right? And Age of Sigmar was doing really well because people were buying new armies because the game came out, maybe what's happening with the Old World now. and then it just kind of, yeah, it kind of stopped and it slowed down. It seems like Age of Sigmar never really got its footing properly. Their poor edition launches just never, like, they like never sell out, where 40K sells out every time, you know. And we don't know like production numbers and stuff, but still there's a lot that goes into that, but it's still like yeah, several thousand points of legends between AOS and 40K by now. Yeah, Blissful Badger. That's kind of what happens. Into 40K just before they sent Beastmen to the old world. Like my dude's very annoying. Good answers. Yeah. Hey, play the old world, man. Old world Beastmen are really cool and fun, and yeah, I think you would. I think you'd enjoy the game. I think they're about to do a big errata FAQ like 1.5 edition for the old world, and they're gonna make they're balancing a lot. A lot of the little hiccups are getting kind of ironed out. Yeah, I think the old world really benefits from being a specialist game, because I think it keeps some of the like competitive mindset out of the game. People still are, and you know, the game is not balanced at all. It's got a lot of issues as far as like actual balance goes, but you know, if you communicate with your opponent and you're talking to your opponents, and you have like a good community, like it's never going to be an issue. Kind of like a lot of heresy groups around the world are just, they're just so chill. They're just wanting to put cool painted minis on the table and show off their legion, you know. AOS is offering each faction in the spells, terrain for free for armies to use, which adds to the compulsory cost of getting into the game. Yeah. Yep, and that was a big issue with Fantasy toward the end, which was it costs so much and it takes so much time to collect an army, collect and paint, you know, when you need 120 minis for like an average size army. Like it's not viable for a lot of people. Where AOS was much more condensed and kind of hero focused, and so it was cheaper, and it focused around like, you know, big centerpiece and then some extra supporting units. But if they're getting away from that, then it's gonna be rough. Filler blocks is legal. That's true. You don't have to paint your 40 spearmen. You can paint 15 spearmen and have like a big brick of a square base as a filler. Yeah, that's legit. $1,000 for an army is a lot to ask. I agree. Probably another 20% of market share waiting. Say they're waiting for 3 guys at the shop to buy armies before they get into it. Oh man. There's a lot of AOS sales going toward the old world too, which GW wouldn't care to track specifically. That's like specifically why they separated it out, right? But I have specifically bought a lot of Age of Sigmar minis the past year for the old world. I put them all on square bases. I have tons of spare round bases now, and all that. Like it's 100% for the old world, and I have zero intention of playing Age of Sigmar. But I spent a lot of money on Age of Sigmar stuff. I probably will when the itch comes back to get can continue my Vampire Counts army. Oh, when it's about vibes and good times. Yep. Specialist games in a nutshell for GW are like that. The specialist games are typically not as balanced. And if you want to break the game, you absolutely can, a lot easier than you can with like 40K. But in general, the communities are a lot different. It's people trying to get out of the grind and the cycle of like the big Warhammer games. The point a lot of people were upset about the new Heresy edition coming out until they started seeing the rules. Now people, I think, are liking it a lot more, but they just don't want the edition churn. Spearhead is pretty great, supposedly. Okay, oh, that's cool. Also, welcome in. Forgiven Neander. Hold on. Neanderthal. Okay, it's Neanderthal. The 4 threw me off. Okay, Forgiven Neanderthal. All right, welcome in, man. And that's good to hear. It's good to hear that Spearhead is better. Or I guess positively received. One of my big hopes for 3.0 Heresy is that Dreadnoughts took a nerf bat a little bit. Contemptor Dreadnoughts specifically were so broken in 2.0 Heresy that it was an unwritten rule in any group. There was an unwritten rule that you bring one Dreadnought per 1,000 points max, just so everybody else could have fun. And I had never met someone who didn't abide by that rule. But they were way too powerful. And I hope they get nerfed, not for like balance reasons or anything. Like, I don't care. I'm fine to do one Dreadnought per 1,000 again if they're overpowered. I want them to be worse so I can spam a Dreadnought army and not feel bad. That's my big hope. I want to be able to field Dreadnoughts without like stomping on my opponent. AOS 2nd edition. Like the unneeded complexity and layers they've added last. Yeah, I thought the whole thing with AOS was supposed to be like really simple. Yeah, it seems like they've kind of gotten away from that, haven't they? Just add more and more. I want to play War Machine, not Hordes. Yeah. As a game I could never get into. I'm not a big steampunk fan. Not a lot of people play Combat Patrol. Yeah. Flashbacks 8th edition Iron Hands. What about 9th edition Iron Hands? Or 10th edition Iron Hands? Iron Hands being a menace with their rules completely unjustifiably. Okay. We got this hand. Let's get the next one, then we'll do yet another brighter silver. We gotta get, yes, this arm here, right? I think so. Did I paint this arm already? I did. Jersey box comes out. I traded my Dreadnought for 10 Mark III Marines. I have an army that feels like an army, yeah. Yeah, the big thing spam. To be fair, though, Heresy is much more big thing spam because it's like, big tanks and stuff. But I agree. I like the infantry, based... the infantry-based armies. I am always a fan of taking numbers over, the big elite stuff. That said, with the rules coming out for the Saturnine Dread today, it doesn't feel egregious or overcosted. It starts at 340 points, which is hitting that's a lot for one mini, but that's also a tenth of your allotted army points. So it's not like you're spending a quarter of your army or half your army points on a Dreadnought. Armies in Heresy are massive anyway. You're putting a lot of minis on the board if you want. And that, that Dreadnought takes a big dent, but it's like battling a Land Raider. Yeah, in a way, right? I don't think the rules were too egregious for the Saturnine Dread. We already have seen, with the rules that have come out, a lot of answers to Dreadnoughts. I do so I already agreed with a local in my group to trade. He's gonna give me the second disintegrator, or his disintegrator cannon on his dreadnought. I'm gonna give him my plasma bombard, and so he's gonna have double plasma. I'm gonna do double disintegrators because I want to make that Thousand Suns dreadnought from the like art plate they showed off yesterday. But what was I saying? Oh, like its weapons seem good, but they're close range. You know, the plasma is probably really good because it's indirect, but then again, it's only breaching on a 5+, which is big deal. Number 1 troll reporting. Welcome in, Judge Dave. Welcome in. Yeah, I feel like a Leviathan gets into melee with it, it's gonna wreck it, which I love because Leviathans are awesome. Alright, that silver is done. Let's get some brighter silver here. I think what we do one more layer of silver, and then we do a highlight for bright silver, like an edge highlight. Finish washing the Riders of Rohan. Nice. Yep, I'm painting Perturabo. Yep. Got 3 Leviathans for your World Eaters. That's awesome. I have 1 Leviathan for my Thousand Suns. It's one of my favorite minis. And it was also a mini I was really proud of because I assembled... I assembled and... I think I painted it from primer to varnish in under 24 hours, which was really cool. Like, I took a long stream and I painted the thing, and I just finished up that evening, and it was awesome. It was a blast to paint. Okay. Plastic can make it Legends for 40k a few weeks later. Yeah. Yeah, GW has some really sketchy business practices. The Legend stuff is certainly part of that. Much brighter silver here. We're going around these different kind of not quite edge highlighting, but hitting the upper parts. Glad I waited. Yeah. A local game store near me has reopened recently after shutting down for several years. Oh, cool. That's really cool. It's exciting. I'm very fortunate to live in an area with a lot of independent game stores around. It's really nice. I have not touched the base on this guy yet. Yeah, this is his game base. I have his display base in 5 different pieces. I'm wanting to start on that today. I don't think I'll finish it today. But my initial goal was to finish the mini this week. I started painting him Tuesday on stream, and I was like, man, it'd be great if I just do Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday and finish him, but it's not looking likely. It's because this silver's taken a long time, and you know, these minis take time to paint, and yeah, I have no idea how long that base is going to take. Pre-pandemic, yeah. Okay. Legend. Okay. Oh, cool. They released Khan and Farhad and sent the Legends immediately after. Yeah. Legends don't mean anything in Middle Earth, though. Like, everybody's gonna play Legends in Middle Earth, so don't worry about that with that game. Pretty of my own at home. Think of doing some Harrison, converting him into a Terminator Lord from the Iron Warriors. Oh my goodness. He's going to be a massive Terminator Lord, though. That's going to be... It'll definitely be something. Well, things to know before you start playing GW games. Yeah, the Legends stuff and everything. Yeah. One leg and his butt plate done. Magic cards get legends every week. Yeah. We're not doing that. Like I said, the Legends Legacy stuff doesn't matter with the specialist games for GW. People are a lot more serious about it with the main games, with 40k and Sigmar, but which we were even talking about yesterday, is Adepticon. The Old World tournament happened at Adepticon, which is one. I think it was the biggest tournament for the Old World to date, and GW offered prize support to the tournament like they did with all the games at that tournament, and they said the only thing is no legacy armies and the thing, and the organizers turned it down. They said no. They said we want people to play with their armies, and so they turned down prize support from Games Workshop. Like that's the attitude. That's the attitude we want. Yeah, it really is. It really is. Right. Yeah, I agree. I agree, Culture American. Yeah, I think it's funny too because I bet the designers of the game, of the Old World, were like, they heard that and they're like, yeah. They're like, you show them, you show GW like it's a player run game, and I imagine that even like probably the what marketing managers or whoever's in charge of all that were probably like, no, that's cool. Like we understand, especially if they play these games. It's like you know these dudes are collecting Skaven armies and stuff, right? For the Old World, like that's a given. Like it's they want the same thing. Yeah. Also, welcome into Valios. Yeah, it's very much a corporate policy from Games Workshop, right? And not like a game policy. Yeah, you got accountants in charge of the company. Okay. Feet and legs done. Let's move up to this torso here. Dark Mechanicum. Yeah. I think Dark Mechanicum will come for 30k soon. It's a little weird though because GW said that there was a new faction coming for 30k this year, but it's increasingly looking like they already have things set for this year, unless the release schedule for Heresy is about to go nuts and just, you know, like every other week they're going to have Heresy releases. Like, that could happen, but should you pay for rules for even more money? That's true, yeah. Interesting to see what GW can do with the Demon Primarch Perturabo model. Yeah. Yeah, it could be really cool. Yeah. I'm ready to see the 30k Primarch Magnus. That's what I'm ready for. Militia models, yeah, there you go. Yeah, they put Militia out as a full faction. That'd be hilarious. Yeah, they're not doing Xenos for Heresy. They're, you know, like, unless they're doing something completely off the wall, Dark Mech is the only logical answer, especially since they're in Legions Imperialis now. You think he's beholden to Vashtor? Okay. I have no idea. No idea what this chump is doing. It's apparently a problem for a bit. Yeah. Well, they basically wiped out the orcs as a threat right before the Heresy. That was the Olinar battle, right? Oh yeah, the big dark mech like stalkers would be awesome to see. Yeah. All right. Drink. Yeah, there's a big heresy group near me that does leagues, and they're doing a great Crusade League, which may or may not be happening with 3rd edition coming out, but they were making rules for Xenos factions. People were building up their armies, which was really cool. Never stop talking about Dark Mech. I think Solar Auxilia need a good, like, there's like 6 boxes Solar Aux needs in plastic, and I think they're pretty much set. So like they're almost a complete faction, you know, and then you have like The Mechanicum just need a ton of stuff, but they have a ton of different like weird units. So Xenos faction, but using the Min rules. What is that? Combine the Thanatar. Yeah, they're doing that a lot with Heresy though. That's kind of the standard they've set ever since they put out the Dreadnought, right? The Contemptor. Yeah, Solar Ox needs. So here's what I think Solar Ox needs. They need the Ogrins. They need an Aurochs, which is their Rhino equivalent transport. They need a Carnodon, which is the Aurochs but with guns. That's 3 kits. They need with the Velatari. Is that what they're called? The elite guys, but with their second weapon options. So instead of rotor cannon, no, hold on. They have Volkite axes. They need a rotor cannon and flamethrower option. And they already have the axe guys. Yeah, those are like the 4 big sets, right? I think as a 5th set, what would be great would be an HQ command squad. Like just call the current one a Tercio command, and then make a like a crazy wacky set that's more similar to the resin command set, because the resin command set was insane. Like the amount of like character in that set. They could also do like a companion set, like a weapon upgrade set with like melee upgrades and like plasma guns and stuff. Yeah, that'd be another one. But I mean, at that point, Solar Ox is like they're done as far as units that already exist in resin to go to plastic. Yeah, just a big like upgrade set with a whole bunch of stuff, like medics and plasma guns, power weapons, that kind of stuff. I think would work fine. They stole the Contemptor from 40k. Yeah, I should have really bought more minis when everybody purged all their 30k collections. I should have jumped on that. There was so much, so cheap. Skitarii, yeah, Skitarii coming to 30k AdMech. Yeah, they're getting their own like release, some kind of weird infantry set. And who knows, those might be a Dark Mechanicum unit, you know? Take hoplites without needing a Lord of War. Yeah, the like Titan bodyguards and stuff. Okay. I think we got these highlights down with this color. Here. Right. It's dark mech. It makes the 40k implication really funny. Yeah, it does. It does. That'd be perfect. Dark Compliance. I've never read Dark Compliance or listened to it. Alright, I'll be back in just a second, guys. Let's continue on with the arms in this color. We're gonna skip the weapon on these highlights. Idea why Amazing 30K and 40K aren't this similar is because 10,000 years they forgot, lost the designs. Yeah, it's part of it. Yeah, I think. Okay, yeah, Judge Dave really is just trying to troll. Yeah, I think the idea is a lot of this stuff they made in 30K was like really complicated and resource heavy to produce. And like the different Terminator armor variants. And not only did they lose knowledge, but they became too like resource intense to make on a large scale. And the Imperium became like way more desperate. And so they had to basically make the easier stuff to try to stay afloat and to keep, soldiers armored and everything. So they just went with the easier designs. But then that kind of stuck. In 10,000 years, that they finally like lost the stuff, lost the knowledge and everything for a lot of it. No. Okay. Actually, for this bit, so it needs to change for me. Yeah. Change everything to suit my needs. Yeah. Yeah, some people just like to complain too. That's just kind of the nature of things, right? Chaos needs a general rework. Chaos armies don't feel like chaos. Yeah. Oh my gosh, painting that is way too intense. I mean, chaos has always been like, Space Marines with spikes or whatever, and I think GW's tried to move away from that. I would like to see if they separated out, like Lost in the Damned kind of stuff. Like the Traitor Guard and the Cultists and everything went into their own codex. But with how 10th edition works, that would get way too complicated with the way they added allies and stuff in, where it's detachment specific and everything. Plays national sports, an international sport, dude. Judge Dave isn't even American. He's everyone around him complaining. Spikes and thousands. Just trim. Yeah, just trim. Just non-stop trim. Controversial opinion here. I don't care if there are women Space Marines. Doesn't bother me one bit. Because I'm going to put helmets on them. So, who cares? The more egregious offense is if you're not putting helmets on your Space Marines, in my opinion. Hero Guard, some Traitor Guard specific detachments. I agree with that. Yeah, that would be cool. That'd be really cool. I don't care that you heard. Hey, stop, man. Don't be mean like that. Okay. You can find plenty of those in STLs, I'm sure, Judge Dave. Beakies for life. I do like the Beakies. I'm a little over the Beakies though, so I'm excited to have Mark II to mess around with, and I just don't like Mark 3. So give me Mark 5 armor, GW. Give us Mark 5, you cowards. A pointy drill cone? That'd be funny. Culture American, they don't do that with Age of Sigmar, do they? Don't the Age of Sigmar women wear the same armor as like the men? Like it's all, they just all wear the Sigmarine armor or whatever. Man of Primaris isn't lore an excuse to get true. Yeah, they should have just made Primaris an armor upgrade. Just be like, hey, Mark 10's new armor that Call made. We're putting everybody in it, kind of thing. Be a lot easier and make a lot more sense. Sort of. Men have ab plate. Okay. Yeah. Well, at least you got the Lady Custodes doesn't have different armor though, does she? I think her armor was the same as the other Custodes, so I don't know. I don't care one way or the other. I'd rather them not, like, yeah, change up the armor because that'd be silly. But give the men pec and ab plate. Okay, so the men have the boob plate. The women don't. Interesting. Female Stormcast heroes have the boob armor. Oh, okay. That's weird. Judge Dave, fun story. I had watched it was Goobertown Hobbies made a video about how, like, he showed off the mini, like every 40k starter set that has had a female miniature in it. It's one. It was the 3rd edition starter with some Dark Eldar minis with boob plate, and like that was it. And kind of just saying, like, the representation and like and all this stuff. And I was telling talking to my wife about that video, and like, yeah, it was really interesting. And I was like, but there's there's like 30k has women soldiers that are really cool. And I was describing to her, I was like, yeah, they're called Sisters of Silence. And she's like, why do they need to be silent? And I was like, oh, no, it's really cool. It's I was like, it's they're like these psychically like negative people that's like a really rare genetic trait, and they're called pariahs. And she's like, oh, so the only women in 30k are pariahs? Like, those are the only soldiers in 30k? It's like, yeah, well, when people are around them, like psychers, it like people in general just feel terrible, but then it like but it'll like kill psychers. I know. Yeah, it's so bad. And I was like, after I finished talking about it, I was like, oh, okay. I was like, yeah, I okay, I see the point. Yeah. It was just so, like, saying the things out loud, we're like, yeah, they're really cool, but just like you describe the things, and it's like, oh no, that's maybe not so cool. Yeah. They literally make everybody feel terrible when they're near them. And they don't speak. Yeah, they don't speak. Yep. I'm just taking some pure silver. I'm just hitting all the edges on this. Get a little bit. Yeah, classic Garrett. I could see GW doing that. Yep. it's so bad. Yeah. Book 4, the audiobooks. There's one in there, yeah. I think it's a microaggression. It's fair to say everyone in the Imperium is just having the worst time. It is fair to say that, yeah. Yeah, they are cool when you're like into the lore and everything, but trying to explain that to somebody who's not, you're like, yeah, they're really cool, they don't speak. And everybody hates being around them. They're literally called pariahs. Does not work. Doesn't work. Explain Battle Sisters. Yeah, yeah, Sisters of Battle. The Sisters of Battle are interesting because they're like the most grim dark you can get in Warhammer. Especially their minis. Their minis are brutal compared to a lot of the others. I'm ready to be done with this mini so I can start the base. Penta Engine is, yeah, is definitely one for the books, right? I remember assembling and painting Repentia as a commission years ago at this point, but I'd never been interested in the Sisters of Battle minis just because I wasn't like big on their style and everything. But then I loved the minis. Like the whole line looks great in person. Like they look way better than like their photos give them credit for. But I remember assembling the Repentia and being like, these are horrid. Like the self-mutilation of these minis, just crazy, just off the wall, dark. AOS lore Daughters of Cain did not go well. Yeah. The Custodes book, they talk about how they hate the term Sisters of Silence. Oh, really? Oh, interesting. Custodes were the woke ones the whole time in the Imperium. Yeah, the Arcoflagellants are pretty crazy. Yeah, that is true. That is true, Darkest Sun. It's hard to explain Warhammer. Yeah, in like a brief manner, right? Ultimately, it's we just want to put our little war dollies on the table, right? And push them around and make explosion sounds and roll dice. It's clad in bikinis. Yes, they're strowing fish. All from the perspective of one of the sisters. Oh, interesting. Okay, okay. Whole army of them. You can silver scratch built productions on YouTube. You can make a whole army of sisters. They're pretty bland because they only have one kit and like 2 resin minis. So you can't do much with them as an army, but maybe with 3.0 and a book, the new Talons of the Emperor book coming out, maybe there's more you can do with them. I guess that's kind of the hope. All the Anathema Psychona. That makes sense. Painting something's making sounds in the other room, so be so expensive. Yeah, just Sisters of Silence army. I don't know, you might be able to find the kit pretty cheap. People in general don't play them, so find old armies and stuff, but it'd just be boring. You're just painting the same kit over and over. They do have like their own tanks and stuff that are pretty cool. No one in my group plays them. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen them on the board. But then again, I play Thousand Suns, and if people are playing like for fun, then you know people aren't gonna bring them against me because they're just like negate my whole army. But wait, $60 for only 5 minis? You don't even get 10 in the box? No way. Yeah, that's a rip-off. Tanks with giant organs, yeah. The Sisters of Silence in 30k have like a hover tank. Like its own like transport hover tank thing. The guns kit and the swords kit field 6 of each in their tank. Okay, okay. Ugh. Going. Neighbors mowing their lawn. It reminds me I have to mow my lawn tomorrow. I'm not excited about that. I had such a like crazy like past month that I've between like house stuff and like I was sick for a little while and everything, and I haven't been to the gym regularly, and I actually skipped. There was a couple weeks where I didn't go, and I jumped back into it this week, like full bore, and my body is so sore. Just in a constant state of soreness and pain. It's a good pain though, right? Got shoulder pads printing, nice. Let's go just straight las cannons. Las cannons are gonna be so bad in 3.0. Ooh, and the whips. Okay, yeah. 1 second. Let me finish this little bit of paint that's on this brush here. Okay, we need those little ammo boxes next. whips. Oh, cool. Man, yeah, the red with the light blue. Oh, that's so good. Like the orange and red. That's awesome. That's very like fish, like aquatic is what it reminds, like a coral reef kind of thing. Yeah, it's really cool, man. Karen pattern acquisitor. I have no idea silver. I don't know. I don't know what they're called. Okay, I think we have Perturabo's body done. Okay, let's get these weapons. Or arms, not the weapons. We're not touching the weapons again. That's the name of them? Okay. Okay. Get on here. That's good. Let's get the hammer arm. Hey, Gosu. Coming along really well. Yeah, really happy with him. Ready for painting. Oh, sweet. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm edge highlighting the silver. Kind of our last step. And then there's a couple like little lights and stuff on Perturabo I have to do. But I want to jump into the base. And I want to paint the base on this mini. Or at least get started on it, because I'm supposed to just be working on the base today. But instead I've spent 2 hours just highlighting silver. Yeah, Blue just posted your work on that Tyranid. It's great looking. I love the color combo. Wait, Gosu printed. He didn't paint it for you. He printed it for you. Okay, so you painted it. Oh, that's cool. You're just printing Tyranid Warrior Sword. That's solid. And then you painted. That makes sense. Okay. That is awesome. I got it. I got it. I got it. Okay. I don't read so good. Cool. Cool. An STL for me? Oh no, that's hilarious. A base? Or the... Now, if I'm not mistaken, isn't the Iron Blood his, like, big fell blade? That's like his transport or whatever? And you're wanting a base? Oh, his ship. His ship, that's right. Okay. Alright. The Tormentor is his Fellblade. Okay. Never mind then. I'm just off my game today, apparently. Hammer's taking all the time. Okay. I think we have silver complete on this guy. Got his self here. I think I'm ready to about try some Is it a shadow sword? Okay, it's a shadow sword. Yeah, same chassis. I don't know the difference. Fellblade has like the two big cannons. I don't know. All right, I'll be back in just a couple minutes, guys. I might have the painting sun with me, but we're gonna continue on, and we're gonna start on the base. That's the goal. So, be back in just a minute, guys. All right, we're back. We are back. So, this zoom out a little bit for this base. All right, display base here. Other part of display base. Sorry, display base here, other part, another part of the display base, and yet another part of the display base, and then the gameplay base right here. Let me set these things off to the side. These are the base pieces. What I think I want to do first is actually just get a picture of Perturabo up that I can look at. It is a puzzle. It is not a base. Yeah, this one's really bad because you have to magnetize everything. So, I learned in a very difficult manner that if you put the normally the display bases for these Primarchs, they have like this big kind of like crescent shape that fits around the gameplay base, and then there's like a separate piece that you pull off and put on. And so far, the 3 Primarchs I've assembled, that's how it's been. Magnus was a little different because he has the big like energy like blast, and that has to magnetize into a separate piece. But they all have this little piece here. Perturabos, when you put these other pieces together, the gameplay base literally will not fit in place. It can't get in or out at all. So you have to magnetize each piece because it's the second piece right here that's the problem. So you have, and they all fit like a puzzle. So you have to magnetize every single piece that goes on this display base for it to work. Because what I would do is from this point I put the gameplay base in, and then I start piecing the other pieces in, and I put a magnet in each of them to hold. So that's how the magnets work on this base. And then this piece, I have magnets. You can see there's a little magnet right there on either side, and then I glued magnets on the underside of the base to hold this final piece in. But that's the base. That's what it is, which is insane, honestly. Like it's a bit ridiculous. What I'm going to do, there's also a whole other piece on this base that I'm not touching. So there is this thing right here, and this piece goes specifically on the gameplay base. It fits right there, and it covers some of the display base. The problem is you can't have this right here and still put the gameplay base on the display base. This has to be off, then you put this on, and then you put this piece on. Because of the way it fits and interacts, I think it's like this thing goes under there, and like there's just a whole thing. This is too thin to magnetize. And if I magnetize it, then this piece is going to look ugly when there's no when it's not on there, when it's just the gameplay base. So I just left this piece off. Now fortunately there's actual detail under here and it makes sense, right? It's just like an extra panel that looks like it's, you know, like folded up and breaking up or whatever. But yeah, it's crazy. Like I said, I want to make a quick video, and when I'm done with this mini, just to show you how to take apart and put this thing back together and how I magnetize it. Yeah, they let the intern chop it up. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy how this thing fits together. I'm excited to show you guys how it fits together, but it's asinine. It's ridiculous. Okay. What I am going to do... Yeah, we're just gonna start stippling, if that's cool with you guys. We're gonna do some stippling action, and I'm going to do that with. We want to start darker. Oh, that's a good color to use. Yeah, this cool gray or gray green or whatever this is. Get some better focus here. This stuff. It is a Titan. Oh, it's a knight's shoulder. This is the shoulder of the knight. When it fits in here, there's the pilot. That's the pilot there. And you have like the back end of the knight and everything right here. Yeah. Yeah, so he's standing on top of knight. It's a blown up Cerastus. Okay, there we go. Yep. As Studson Studio says, stipple that goop. Okay, the back end. Okay. What's this cool gray? Oh man, yeah, we're gonna mess with some fun colors here. I like that cool gray is like a mix between bright neutral gray and neutral gray, but we're gonna use this green gray. I'm gonna try. I could be just awful at stippling here, but we're gonna mess with it. Put some of these back. Okay. Paper towel. Bit of a damp brush here. Get some of this paint off, but one of the things about this mini is there's going to be a lot of weathering. There's some crazy heavy weathering that's going to go on this base. So even if it's not perfect, it should be good enough. I'm going to make it good enough to cover with a bunch of weathering powders, rust and dirt and stuff like that. So. Good enough painting. Yep, there we go. Just gotta be good enough. I gotta channel my my inner Gosu with the weathering. I also I don't stipple often, so it's a good opportunity for me to do something different. Yeah, I did ask the customer. Yeah, I'm gonna build up colors. Yeah, I asked the customer what if they had any friends in their group or anybody in their playgroup that played knights, and what their color scheme was, and he said there's no one in their group that plays knights. So, hello, painting son. How are you doing, dude?
Good.
Good. You ready to hang out and paint?
Yep. First, I gotta use brush paint though.
Okay. Figure this out. Is he not ready? No, he absolutely wasn't. Yeah, you ready to hang out and paint? Yes, but no. What's this piece? That piece is there? Yes. That piece. Will painter do? Yep, the painting son himself is going to be joining. He's got some Space Marines he's painting with me. His goal is to have them done by the end of the weekend. So we'll see. The Ultron one, is that what you're asking about? I have not started the newer Ultron one. I was thinking about starting it either this afternoon or tomorrow or something, but I'll try to get it for you for Saturday. these are all plates
Alright, I'm
here.
back.
Alright, are you ready to paint now?
Yup.
Okay. Cool. Pull up a chair and get cozy, dude, and then we'll get your stuff, okay?
Okay.
Okay, what's next? Let's get this big piece. This is like got a lot of like red and everything in it, but this has got this green gray in there. I like this green gray color. It's nice. I'll just drop all your brushes.
Not all of them. Maybe just one, but one that I don't need.
You can grab it.
No,
No,
it's too far down.
it's too far. Get down and grab it.
It's too far, I'd say, in.
Oh, it's in between the
Yes.
desks. Okay. Let's not forget it so it doesn't just sit there for the rest of eternity, okay?
Hey.
You saw a Wild Robot the other day? Yeah, okay. Zindrel said he watched the Wild Robot.
Nice.
It's cool. Painting Son loves it. You read the whole trilogy, right?
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
a book series about it. And
Yeah.
I finished it in the course of like 2 months.
Yeah, he read it really fast.
There's like 200 pages.
The brush wasn't needed for yeah, thanks, Zen. Yeah. Yeah, I watched the movie with him, and it's crazy because you watch the movie and you're like, oh, okay, the movie's done. But then there's like, it's only like half the movie. There's like a lot that goes on in that movie. Okay, we got that. Next, this piece. Does this piece have anything? It does not have any of these colors on it. Okay. Display base piece goes right there. Yes, it has a bunch. Okay. What color you need first, Painting Son?
I don't know which color to do next.
I think black is probably black or bronze. Maybe bronze. Bronze might be the one to do.
Okie dokie.
Thinking bronze.
Yep.
Okay, let me get some bronze on your palette. Okay, we're not gonna whistle during stream though. Okay.
I know.
Okay. I heard you whistling all morning. We're not gonna do that. Yeah, it's definitely like a kid's movie, right? But it was good. It was good. I enjoyed it. We'll definitely watch the second one when it comes out.
If there is.
I'm sure there will be.
Yeah, me too.
Seemed like that movie was pretty successful. Probably. Okay. Okay. I think that's good for our first step of stippling. And we're at Painting Son his paint. Can I thin this bronze for you a little bit?
Yeah, sure.
There's that. Where's your brush? Give me a brush you're gonna
A big.
medium size one. Small one. Give me a bigger one than that. And smaller than the first one. Give me a different one. Come on, give me a good size one. Alright. Cool.
Why?
Mix that brush in with the that bronze really good, okay? That's a thinner, it'll thin it out. Okay? And then you can use whatever brush you want to after that to paint it. Second was confirmed last October. Okay, so they are making a second one.
Oh, yay.
Alright, well we're gonna do this bright warm gray. Let's put this down. And we're gonna stipple this in all the areas we were painting. This I don't know if that'll show up too bright or not. we'll see. Yeah, I like the look of the Saturnine Dread the more I look at it. Its rules seem pretty good. It definitely seems like it has kind of a niche, you know. It's really tough, but it's got short range weapons, and it's slow, and it's awful in melee. So like it'll be countered by a lot of stuff. So it's definitely not like a, you know, new set OP stuff kind of idea, which is nice. Yeah, and the other weapons look good. I do plan on ordering more weapons for the thing. I don't want a second one, but I'll order weapons. So I'll magnetize it. I think it's funny they talk about in the kit that you can magnetize it, and I saw it seemed like everybody was kind of freaking out that they actually talked about, like, wow, they actually said you can magnetize the kit. Like that's crazy actually talking about it. I was like, didn't they talk about that with the Contemptor? Because the Contemptor and the Leviathan and the Deredeo, it's the exact same thing. You can magnetize all the weapons, and they sold weapon sprues separate so you can do this. And yeah, I was like, I swear they mentioned that you could magnetize these other dreadnoughts and everything. But sure enough, I went back and I read the articles, and they never say a thing about magnetizing. They talk about how you can replace the weapons, how you can swap the weapons out, but they never use the word magnetize, you know, or like magnets or whatever. But they basically tell you in every way they can that you can magnetize the kit. They sell the weapons separately, you know, and they have all the options. They talk about you can build all the options and everything, but yeah, they never say you know, they never explicitly say you can magnetize it. So I thought that was interesting. So you're painting bronze. You're getting the shoulder trim and the little chest piece in the middle. Is that what you're doing? Okay. Remember, hey, take your time. Okay. Make sure you get a good view of your mini, good lighting and everything. Okay. Okay. Taking your time is a really big deal on that part, because if you start making mistakes on the green, we have to go back and correct it. Okay. And we want to do, like, touch-ups are fine. It's okay to do touch-ups, but we want to do as few as possible. They won't tell you the size or what. Yeah, dreadnought scale magnets. Ugh. It would be pretty funny. Yeah. As if you couldn't just drill out a slightly bigger hole for different magnets, right? But $4.99 for 6 magnets. But guys, it lets you have multiple loadouts for your dreadnought. It only costs, you know, one more dreadnought worth of money. Okay, I want to go through and do another coat of this. See the arms of my Space Marines and Kriegers. Easier when it comes out. Yeah, it's a little easier. It's annoying to do to go through the process and to like have to paint things separate, especially as someone who doesn't paint things in sub-assemblies often. But down the line, you know, when you have all these minis ready and you can just swap out weapons as you want, it's definitely something I'm happy I did for my minis. Action power as the astronaut. Oh, God. Yeah. It's like, yeah, it's not even like rare earth magnets. You tired today painting, son?
What?
You tired today?
Yeah.
Seem like you're tired. Got fencing tonight.
Yup.
You can sleep in tomorrow, though. That's good. You gonna sleep in tomorrow? I won't make you answer questions while you're painting. Hey, an OK Guardian, what's going on? Maglock your models, yeah. GWE checking magnets at the doors of tournaments. Fencing. Yeah, my son is he's in a fencing club. He goes once a week.
Every Thursday.
Every Thursday. A painting son has been moving all week, and he is tired. He's working hard in swim lessons today. Had to swim all the way down the pool. In the heat. Oh yeah, we're about to have a really hot week next week. Temperature's supposed to go up a bunch.
Into the 90s and 80s.
80s and 90s, yeah. So we're enjoying the somewhat cooler weather right now before it's completely miserable. Have it down in the UK, really? Okay. Yeah, Drake, the little Emperor's champion. Yeah, he's pretty good at it.
Oh, I need to do the knee pad stuff.
Oh, if you want to do knee pads on him, yeah. Okay. Our next color. I think we do more stippling. I think we just do it with a smaller brush, maybe. Let's see, yeah. And I think silver, and then we work in some. This one has like dark bronze. Yeah, it's got bronze accents on it, which is pretty cool. Okay. I think a lot of the details going to come from like washes and weathering, but silver stipples. So let's do a lot of silver they put on. There's a lot of bronze they put on this mini, but feels like the UK is melting. Oh no. It's 86 degrees in the UK. 86 Fahrenheit. They're just like dying. That's pretty funny. 112, jeez.
Where?
I don't know, wherever this person is. Wherever Yoshi Studios is.
Yoshi.
Yep. Okay, let's try this. I got this Prochrome Magnesium we're gonna mess with some stippling. And we'll get a brighter color. It's like a greenish silver. Schedule it for the 4th of July weekend. He does it anyway. Yeah. He said he's looking into it. Yeah, he said as soon as he did that, he got a bunch of messages from people saying that they wouldn't be able to make it. So he's... yeah. The boy loves Yoshi, so... It's the only character he plays in Mario Party.
Like, really, once I played as, at the end of my video game session once, like, after, like, an hour, I would stop playing video games, and so, as soon as I started, I played as Mario, then I had to turn it off.
Oh, so you never even got time to try someone else.
I did, like, 2 turns, and that was all.
Yeah, Yoshi is great, Everyone wins by default when no one shows, Well, like, you know, I'm planning on being at this one, and I'm looking forward to it and everything, and it just kind of stinks that, like, he's, like, trying to change things at the last minute, which, you know, he's not, like, doing maliciously or anything. I think he had some stuff come up, and he can't make it work with whatever day we originally had scheduled. Yeah. I think the end of June was the best possible time. It seemed like people were planning for that. No, Origins is this week, right? Luigi. I always play as Waluigi. I play as Waluigi when we play.
Well, only 2 games you've played as Waluigi.
They're 2 best games, so I'm going to keep playing them. Not like I played that game a lot.
Yeah, because 2 games of Mario Party ago, like 2 times ago we played Mario Party, he had just started playing as Waluigi. I don't know why, but the time before, we were playing, and it's only up to 4 players, and so there's this boo space. If you land on it, you get to steal a star from somebody. And so Waluigi was one of the AI opponents, and he landed on that, and he stole a star from Daddy, who was winning.
Yeah, curse that. Curse Waluigi.
If you say that now, then next time you play, it's going to be cursed.
Yeah, so what? I'll take it.
And you're only going to get like 1, 2 stars.
Yeah. Zen, Origins is this week. Origins is going on right now.
What? What's Origins?
It's a convention. You like Mario Kart? Yeah. I like Mario Kart too, but the controller drift is so bad on the Switch that we can't play with multiple people.
Well, it got fixed.
And here, okay, you know what painting, son?
Me and Mommy figured out how.
How'd you figure it out?
So it always started off with that one thing that like glitch. Apparently, it started off like that. So I tried to click it, and it helped actually a lot with the glitch.
You did what?
You know the thing that you steer with the controller instead of the joystick?
Yeah.
It starts off with like the steering controller, I think. And so...
Yeah, we fixed that a while ago, but I thought it was still happening.
No, it wasn't. It actually wasn't at all.
That fixed it? turning that off. Okay. Oh, alright, well. I fix it. You fix it by buying a new one. Yeah, by spending more money. Because they don't want to make your first controllers better or any good. Makes sense. Is there... Yeah, you can repair them. Yeah, Zen told me how to repair them, but... Yeah, we don't need to worry about Switch 2 here.
Why?
Because you're not getting one.
Why?
Because they're super expensive, and you have a Switch that we just got you like last year, so...
2 years ago, I think.
It was last year.
I got it in the middle of kindergarten.
Was it in the middle of kindergarten?
Yeah,
okay.
it was.
Well, still not enough time to get a new one. They're a stopgap. Yeah. They're not. I don't think it's gonna be around super long. Yeah, it's.
Why? Not super long.
Yeah, it's not. Dude, this isn't like the '90s when parents could just afford to go on vacation every year. What is that? And just buy new consoles for their kids. You want a new console, we'll build you a PC, alright?
Build?
Yep. So you can have one. It's a PC game with me.
But why do you want to build one?
This is what you do. You build it. Overpriced, yeah. I think electronics are just overpriced in general right now anyway, so it's all kind of a nightmare. Yeah, it might be a lot cheaper. Games are still expensive for the first Switch. We weren't exactly buying that when it was all new. Okay. Culture American. Don't start. Don't start, man. Don't start. Not getting into that here.
Alright, who would win? 100 Space Marines or 200 Space Marines or Vulcan?
Wait.
200,000 suns versus Vulcan.
200,000 suns versus Vulcan?
Yeah. What?
I'm gonna say 1,000 suns. Do they know he's coming?
Yes.
Like they're just standing across from each other and just start fighting?
Yes.
Yep.
That would be the 1,000 suns because Vulcan can come back alive, right? He can't die. He's immortal.
Yeah, but he doesn't come back alive immediately.
How many years?
It depends on when he dies, and I don't know. I don't think there is a set time. Like he's been dead for like 10,000 years. Hasn't come back. Repair places shut down as people shifted more to just buying new rather than fixing. Yeah, it's true. Would you rather have unlimited bacon but no more games, or games and no games? Would you rather have games or bacon?
Games.
You'd rather have the games than the bacon?
Or both. Both.
No, it's either or, man. You gotta choose. You can't just say both.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
Kid doesn't even follow his own premise. Sector X. This is the this is Perturabo's base. We're trying to mess around with stippling on this base. All right, Darkest Sun. We're gonna stop that because it's gonna ruffle some jimmies, and we're not gonna do that. So
Who would win, an egg
I
or
choose to
bacon?
follow my own blade before living in that world. That's
Who
funny.
would win, a bacon or an egg?
The egg is actually alive, so I would say the egg would do it.
The bacon is also,
How's the bacon alive?
because it comes from the meat. It still counts as alive.
Wait, so the bacon's alive? Does that mean it's just a pig? Or
It means it's shaped like bacon.
the pig is shaped like bacon?
Oh, the bacon's shaped like bacon.
Oh.
It's shaped like an egg.
Okay.
Who would win?
What are they doing?
Fighting.
Why are they
To
fighting?
the eat.
Wh-
Fighting to the eat.
To the eat?
Whoever eats each other first wins.
Well, neither of them have mouths.
Well, they do have mouths.
Where's the mouth on the egg?
In the yolk part.
In the yolk? How does he get out of his shell, though? He's in his shell.
Busts out by eating the
Well, then it
shell.
would break the egg.
No, it wouldn't.
So you're saying a chicken versus bacon?
No.
I have questions about the bacon too, but I'm still curious about this chicken.
Egg pops out of its egg.
A
gets
smaller egg pops out of the egg.
An egg pops out of the shell.
So it's an egg inside of an egg. But the smaller egg inside has a mouth. Is that what you're saying?
No.
I don't know. I don't know what this is. The mouth on the side of the egg in the shell and legs and arms sticking out of the side. Duh. Yeah. Virtual Blue says his money's on the waffle. But I'm still confused.
Okay. Who would win, a waffle or pancake?
And again, what's the competition here? Are they trying to
Fight
eat each
till
other?
they eat.
Okay. Where is the bacon's mouth?
Okay, bacon versus waffle versus pancake versus pan.
You haven't finished answering the first question.
Versus pancake.
Where's the bacon's mouth?
At the top.
Give me a description at the top.
In the middle of it.
Does it have teeth? Does the bacon mouth have teeth?
Yes.
Okay. You're so
Everybody has a mouth. Everybody has teeth. Everybody has eyes. Everybody has a nose, arms, and legs.
And a brain?
Yes.
Is it still considered bacon at that point? Do they all have arms and legs?
Yes.
You're describing a pig.
No, I'm not.
Yes. Does it have a snout?
It doesn't have a snout. It has a smaller. It has a nose like humans.
A human nose. So it's human bacon.
No. Yes, it's cooked by a human.
It's cooked by a human.
It doesn't.
Wait, okay, hold on.
It doesn't have a nose. It doesn't have a nose.
Does cooking it ruin the nose? Does it
No.
cook the nose? Does it get the nose after it's cooked?
Yes.
So is that like a cooked piece of bacon, which is a human nose on the front? Yeah, he's saying yes.
And then everything else with an arms, legs, and bacon. Even the pancake.
Now, at what point does the waffle grow the mouth and nose? Like, you mix a batter to make a waffle. Okay. Does the batter, like, do you put like a nose and a mouth in the batter? You put it in the batter, and then you cook it.
Yes.
You flatten it down. Does that flatten the nose?
No.
No. Is this a special waffle maker that has space for a waffle nose?
Yes. I like the pancake.
To be honest, though, like... Wait, what about the waffle, or the bacon?
What?
It has the nose and everything before.
Yes.
Is it bacon at that point, then? Because bacon's a very specific part of an animal.
Yeah, it's still.
It's like the belly, right?
Yeah. Who would win?
What kind of animal has a nose in its belly and a mouth in its belly? That's some weird chaos stuff.
Yeah, because they're eating a bunch of each other. So who would win? A pancake, a bacon, an egg, or waffle? Who would win?
All of these
Fight
things
to the
scare
eat.
me.
Fight to the eat.
I'm just scared.
On bacon.
The bacon wins?
Yep.
You're just throwing it out there?
Somebody said it. Somebody said it.
Long bacon? Yeah. It's a pig. My imagination is trying to imagine how a waffle gets made with a mouth, nose, and eyeballs and doesn't like immediately die when it gets cooked.
Because somebody put the other person's eyes, nose.
They're
mouth
stealing
in.
another person's eyes.
Because they're already dead. The other person is already dead.
It would get squished by the waffle maker, though.
No, it wouldn't.
What do you mean it wouldn't?
Because it's in the little holes.
There's little holes just for the eyes.
And
But then,
mouth, and mouth, and nose,
So can
and
the
brain.
can the waffle see itself being cooked?
Yes.
That's horrifying.
That'd be kind of fun.
It'd be fun to see your body being cooked
As a
in a
waffle.
griddle that just like gets fried on both ends, and then you're like crispy and not able to move. Like that's
But he can move. So who would win? Anybody answered? That only one person. Okay, anybody?
Someone
else?
keeps saying bacon is a veggie, not a meat, but they're also British, and I don't trust a British person's taste in food, honestly. Because they have some really weird choices with food. They just put a can of beans on toast, and they're like, "Yeah,
What?
this is your meal."
What? I know you guys are gonna be like, that actually sounds kind of good, but I'm like, nope, that does not sound good.
Yep.
That sound good to you?
It does not sound good to me. No. Oh, they put cheese with it as well.
Oh, even worse.
Yep. There was a YouTube channel I would get shorts for, and it was
Have a bit more,
bronze.
yeah.
It's a YouTube channel, and it was a food truck in the UK. I think it was in London, and they do spuds. They make baked potatoes, and people choose whatever toppings they want. And I swear, every time it was people just wanting cheese and beans on their baked potato, and the guy would slather it. He's like, "Yeah, this is UK food," and I was like, "This looks horrible. You ruined a perfectly good baked potato." That's what I felt like every time.
We have one more guy after this to do. I'll definitely need to do touch-ups.
Bacon is good though.
It is, so are you gonna answer? Who would win?
I reject your premise and say I'm going to eat all three of them.
By all three, there's four of them.
Oh, all four of them.
Yeah, I would eat all four.
Jellied eels? Yeah, we've watched that video.
That does not sound good.
You want jellied eels?
No.
Hey, Octizan, what's up? The situation, yeah. Zen, yeah. It's so good. He just punches the kid.
Who?
That's a video. It's a YouTube video. Like a silly cartoon. Yep, Painting Sun is on today, and welcome back. Welcome back. We're trying to figure out how to paint this base, so I'm making something work, I guess. We're gonna have to paint all this trim as well. Yeah, we gotta do this with bronze. This shouldn't have been silver. Can you stop whistling, please?
Yeah, I just get distracted.
Thank you. I know. I know. Waffle sounds the best out of those, but I would give it to the egg because it'll hatch into a chicken. And
Because the egg is already hatched.
if it's an egg that's already hatched, then it's already a chicken. Then you're saying it's a chicken versus bacon versus a waffle versus a pancake.
Well, the egg got cracked open, cooked, and then the egg hopped out of the pan and started fighting the others.
So it's a cooked egg.
Yes.
Okay, so this is important. Is it scrambled over easy, sunny side up? Is it poached? Is it, like what kind of egg we talking here?
Egg in basket kind?
It's an egg, so there's toast involved?
No.
No, okay.
But like the kind of an egg, an over easy.
Over easy egg.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it stands up.
So is it over easy or is it over hard then? Because I feel like an over easy egg would probably have trouble standing up.
Over easy.
It's still over easy.
Yes.
Minnie screamed it's fried. Fried egg's good. Yep. Okay. Jellied eel sounds like an elder tour. It does, yeah. Transformation gimmicks and fighting games are typically subpar. Okay, alright. I am using, I'm just putting acrylic paint, and this is a resin mini from Forge World, or from Games Workshop. But this is all just resin sculpt. I don't have anything extra on it. There's nothing crazy going. I'm just trying to figure out. Can you stop whistling, please?
I'm sorry.
Okay, please stop. Yeah. Okay. Who would you say wins painting, son?
Pancake.
You say the pancake wins. Now, okay.
Without eating other guys.
Why does the pancake win? Because the pancake to me seems really fragile. Like, you can break a pancake really easy. Like, sometimes bacon's a little tougher, especially if it's, like uncooked, I guess. The egg is probably pretty delicate. But then, like, a waffle maybe has more like strength, right, than some of the others. So why is it pancake?
I don't know, because I like pancakes.
Because you like... Okay, all this comes down to you liking pancakes?
I think all of them would eat half of one. So they can't walk.
That's true. See, Crucial Blue's got a good point. All the little divots in a waffle, the structure of a waffle means that it can hold a lot and probably has a lot higher strength than other things.
Still, what if the three teamed up on the waffle?
What if they don't?
And then they
Or
would
how
eat
are
the
we to
waffle,
assume that
then
they know that they need to team up against the waffle? Like...
Because I've seen waffles take down another waffle that gets nothing.
So this isn't the first time this has happened.
Yes.
So who has the best record here?
The waffle.
The waffle has the best record.
Pancake
Then I
wins.
think it's logical just to say that the waffle would be the one more likely to win.
No,
If the waffle
pancake
has the
won.
best record.
But the pancake has one right under it.
It has one?
Under it. So the waffle has 10 and the pancake has 9. Everybody else has like 3.
Now what makes the pancake so much better that it has 9?
I don't know, because I like pancakes.
Because they're the tastiest? Is that what you're saying?
They're the second tastiest.
The second waffles are tastier than pancakes?
No, bacon. Bacon's tastier.
So bacon's tastier, but they've only won 3.
Yeah.
So, alright.
The egg
I
has,
can't keep up.
the egg has actually 1.5.
How did it win half? How do you win half a game?
Because it ate 2, then it died.
So you lose half if you get eaten. And this is killing them, right? When they get eaten.
Yes, kill it. Well, the bacon doesn't get killed because it's still in little chunks with little eyes, so and little arms that will punch to try to get out the belly. But yes.
Every piece of bacon.
Yeah, because bacon's super crunchy, and so it's like...
Crunchy? Who's crunchy? Who's making crunchy pancakes? Did Mommy make crunchy pancakes the other morning? No? Okay.
She made really soft.
That sounds like burnt.
What is the deal?
I'm wondering the same thing.
Who would win, bacon or a space marine?
Bacon or space marine?
It's fight till the eat.
You know, they say that space marines know no fear, but I would be horrified of a sentient piece of bacon with a mouth and legs and eyeballs and a hand and hands.
You against that bacon piece?
Bacon.
Eat it? You would eat it.
Bacon would win.
Huh?
This bacon is eating people. I'm not gonna eat that bacon.
I would.
I'd be terrified.
After your tongue touches its back.
Yeah, sentient piece of bacon.
Then all of its eyes, ears, all of that goes away. So you can.
Are you gonna eat an animal's eyeballs?
No, because they just pop in and they go flying out of your mouth.
Ew. That's so much more disgusting. What? Oh. Yeah, the barbecue sauce is still good, Zen. Yeah. Goodness, child. How about this? Pancake, waffle, or muffin?
Ooh, muffin.
Can we just ask which one tastes better? Is that too crazy?
Waffle.
Do they have to be fighting? Does the food have to fight each other?
Yes. Would win a diamond or an emerald? The eyes, ears, and the mouth. And arms and legs hold a sword.
Well,
a diamond.
Diamonds are super tough, so...
How about emeralds?
The emeralds are but diamonds are known for being, really, really sturdy, so... They do need to fight, I will take no questions. Oh, okay. You say the muffin clears that combat easy? Okay.
Huh? How?
I don't know.
Waffle with a waffle sword. Just chops the muffin in half, puts butter on it, and then starts eating it.
They have weapons now. With a waffle sword? Is it a sword for waffles or a sword made of waffles?
A sword made of waffles.
A sword made of waffles. So the waffle is attacking people with its own kind that it's wielding as a weapon.
Yes.
That would be like me taking a human child and swinging them at somebody. Okay. That's completely normal and acceptable, right?
What? That's not normal.
Oh.
Only for the waffle people.
Only for the waffle people. Okay. How do they decide who has to become a sword?
All the warriors change into the sword. They have the sword job.
They take turns?
No.
Oh. Do you have to train to become a sword?
A sword, yes.
Okay. Is a waffle a sword or a shield? Apparently it's a sword. Does the muffin and the pancake get a weapon?
The pancake gets a pancake sword, a pancake bow and arrow. The muffin gets a chocolate chip grenade launcher.
What?
Explosion.
How does anyone
chips.
but the muffin win at that point? How does someone with a sword compare to a grenade launcher?
It's
Yeah,
a
muffin
big
hands
chocolate,
down.
It's a grenade launcher, but it explodes into little chocolate chips. A chocolate chip explodes into a chocolate chip, and so it just hits little by little until so much that they die.
Just how that escalated.
I know, pretty impossible. Ooh,
No, blast the answer. Get these 10th edition rules out of here. We're not.
10th edition.
Yeah. Yeah, I vote for a grenade launcher.
I vote for the waffle cause I like it.
Muffin with a grenade launcher. Oh man. Muffins always travel in groups. That's true. You never just see one muffin on its own.
Well, that one is.
So groups. Is it a rogue muffin? It's like a Ronin. It's a muffin.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Actually, everybody has a power hammer.
What?
A power hammer. Because the muffin shoots the chocolate chip like this. Bleh. And then it's a machine gun sprinkle launcher for the pancakes. And then for the waffle, it's syrup laser.
Do muffins report to the Muffin Man?
No,
Where does the Muffin Man come in on all this?
I don't know.
Oh.
He doesn't come in.
Hundreds and thousands Gatling gun?
A Gatling gun for
what?
a Gatling gun that shoots sprinkles.
Yep.
For the pancake. But yeah, one more thing.
Oh, because we put sprinkles in pancakes in our house, by the way. That's not a common thing for people to do, so. Like the muffins would typically have sprinkles more often than
What?
the pancakes or the waffles.
Honestly, that does not make sense.
It doesn't make sense.
Yep.
I can't handle content this dark. Yeah, this stream got real dark and heavy.
Dark?
Yeah,
What do you mean by dark?
like evil.
It didn't get evil.
It did.
Do you know who the good guys are and the bad guys are? The muffin's the bad guy.
Why is the muffin the bad? I think
middle?
the muffin is misunderstood. He's being attacked by a waffle and a pancake.
And then the middle that plays both sides is the waffle. And then the Gatling gun guy is on the good guy side. So if the bad guys win, the waffle wins. If the good guys win, the waffle wins.
Wait, so the waffle always wins?
Yes, either way.
What? Muffin is a complicated villain. That's true.
How's it a complicated villain?
Misunderstood.
I don't really like muffins that much.
You don't like muffins that much?
Only a tiny bit, only with a lot of butter.
What's wrong with you?
And microwaved.
Stop messing with that.
But yes. I like cupcakes twice as much.
Well, yeah, cupcakes are great.
Everybody likes cupcakes, right?
I don't know.
Say yes on the comments if you think cupcakes are better than muffins.
Yes, there's one.
Okay. Not surprisingly, nobody else.
Nobody else? That is
Say
surprising.
no if you like muffins better. Let's see, we're just going to put like 100.
Well, if it's like an iceberg, a surface that most seeds seldom know lies beneath.
No no's. We're just going to do the yes.
So you gotta make it silly. You gotta say like type 1 if you like cupcakes better, or type Fluffaluffagus if you like muffins better.
Okay. There you go. Painting Dad said it. 1.
Okay, cupcake fans here.
Yes, that's what I did.
1 because I can't spell the other. And that's how we manipulate a poll. There you go. That worked. Snuffleupagus. Worked. That was close enough. Snuffleupagus.
Oh, see a muffin person here.
Yep. You got a muffin fan.
Surprisingly. Well, is that what the people on stream? I feel like it is, right?
Yeah, not everybody chats. Some people just listen in. A lot of people just listen in. How's the painting going?
Good, I finished that color, but I think I'll stick with the funniness right for now.
Okay.
But the rest of the time I'm down here.
Tired of painting already?
I just finished the bronze. Bronze takes a little while.
Okay.
Oh, I see that I didn't do a shoulder pattern, somebody.
Did you get underneath their shoulder pads? Look at the bottom.
I didn't know I had to do that.
Yep.
I have to do everybody all over again.
Oh, there you go.
Oh.
Making sure you get it all properly. Lurkers be lurking. That's true. That's true. Yeah, a big crazy piece of trim. What else here? I think that's about it on this. We're gonna do like verdigris, and we're gonna get lots of like rust effects and stuff, and dirt and grime.
Okay, who would win? The smallest food in the world or the biggest food in the world?
Biggest food in the world.
Smallest food can just slip right under and you...
Biggest food, just crush it.
Yeah, but it's fight to the eat.
Yeah, it does look like a shoulder of a knight because it is the shoulder of a knight.
Yay!
It's covered. That, I believe, is covered. Fight to the eat. It reminds me of The Princess Bride. What is it? To the pain is when they duel or something.
I watched that not too long ago.
We did watch that. It's a great movie. Keep that silver getting rusted out. Alright. This doesn't want to stay on here. Okay. What are we doing next on here? Fight to the death is too easy. Exactly, yeah.
Let's fight to the eat.
Yeah, I know, yeah. Fight to the death is too easy, so you gotta have fight to the eat, right?
Ooh, me versus you. Fight to the eat.
Eat a lot of food, dude.
Yeah, so can I. I'm really hungry.
You're really hungry.
But the skin is too tough, so it's really hard.
You're saying you would eat me? I wouldn't eat you.
No, maybe I would eat you. I don't know. But
Why doesn't Ross, the largest friend, simply eat the other ones? That's what I think of.
But there's like 2 trillion comments, I feel like.
2 trillion comments, maybe.
Can you scroll up?
No.
Oh,
I mean, I can, but I'm not going to.
because I want to see the top. Is it touchscreen?
Yeah, that one is. Trying to get some basic colors, and then I'm just gonna weather this thing. We're gonna put all kinds of weathering stuff all over it. One thing I can't do with this mini is add a bunch of texture around the base, because I wouldn't be able to get anything in and out of the base. So.
Okay, who would win? A paintbrush or a paint palette? This is fight to the paint. The
Well,
one
paint
guy
palette
paints-
can't paint anything, so I'm going to say the brush.
palette has the paint, which if the brush takes it from the paint palette, and then it counts as a marine for the paint palette.
Oh, okay, then the paint palette wins.
But they both have their own blood. But somehow the
goodness.
pink power switches up with the other. And so
Goodness, child.
pink power would win. I know another who would win.
Okay. Give us a good one.
The leader of Corn versus the leader of Corn versus Madness.
Like the chaos god of corn
Yes. Versus Good Magnus in 30K.
versus good Magnus.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, a chaos god is a chaos god, so probably the chaos god of corn.
Ooh, then versus Vulcan.
Chaos god of corn.
What? Vulcan just comes back alive, so there's no way. Vulcan with 2,000.
Doesn't mean he can kill a chaos god.
Yes, he can. With 2 million troops, he can.
You said Conrad Kurz versus corn.
I didn't.
Or not Conrad Kurz. You said Vulcan versus corn.
Yes. Well, all the Primarchs versus that god.
Corn.
Even
Corn.
Horus.
Corn.
That really does not make sense. Even Conrad Curse. Would everybody die?
Yeah, they'd all die.
But Vulcan.
He'd probably find a way to kill Vulcan for good. Because you can. Some like grime and stuff up here. Yeah, Korn wins because if you make him bleed, that makes him stronger.
What?
He's the god of blood and murder and combat. So all those things that happen just make him stronger and stronger. So if you're fighting against him, he's getting stronger because you're fighting against him.
Then how do they kill the Chaos God?
You don't.
Has anybody killed it?
Nope.
Who would win, Perturabo or Magnus?
Perturabo or Magnus?
Whoever wins goes against Conrad's curse.
Okay.
The Magnets fell. The first person to comment will win. Well, that person will win.
Who you guys think would win?
First person-
Magnus or Perturabo?
So if you want Perturabo to win, type in as fast as you can. If you want Magnus to win, type it in as fast as you can.
Okay, Magnus was the first one.
Okay, then Magnus versus Conrad's curse. First,
Magnus versus Conrad Kurz. Magnus again? Okay.
okay, Magnus versus.
I think that one would be close, but I think with Kurz being a psyker, I think Magnus could see that and just like kill him in the warp or something.
So Magnus then versus Vulcan.
Magnus versus Vulcan. They did fight.
He did, and who won?
Magnus almost killed Vulcan, and then a bunch of Space Marines came and attacked Magnus when he wasn't expecting. So then Magnus ended up turning into a demon and leaving.
Okay, then Vulcan wins.
That's not how that works.
Vulcan versus Sanguinius.
Hey, Nitro Stag, what's up?
We're doing Vulcan against Sanguinius right now. Who would win? First one to type it in.
Vulcan against Sanguinius?
Yes.
They would totally not fight though.
Why?
Because they're both like bros.
Together?
Yeah, and with everybody else.
Well, go back in time and well, if they weren't, who would win?
Well, everybody liked Magnus, or everybody liked Sanguinius. And Vulcan was like a super nice guy.
Sanguinius.
It's easy to beat someone that's already dead, yeah.
Sanguinius versus World Eaters Primarch. I don't know his name.
The World Eaters Primarch, Angron.
Mm-hmm.
So Sanguinius versus Angron? Sanguinius, hands down.
What?
Yep.
Sanguinius. Oh, Aragorn was the first one to be.
Sanguinius was killing bloodthirsters. and stuff
Okay,
that were like more
Angron
powerful than Angron.
versus Fulcrum.
Vulcan
Fulcrum.
or Fulgrim? Fulgrim. Hold on, who's Sanguinius versus Fulgrim? Fulgrim?
No, Angron.
Oh, Angron. Okay, are they demons or no? Are they just dudes?
They aren't.
They're not demons.
Vulcan was Fulcrum.
Fulgrim.
Was the first one to
Okay.
be announced. So Fulcrum against the Primarch of the Space.
You don't
Wolves.
want
I
to
know
let
his
you don't want to
name.
like let people explain why.
It's fine.
Oh, okay.
So
Primarch of who?
Space Wolves.
Lehman Russ. Fulgrim versus Lehman Russ. That's a good match.
Who would win?
They're all nicely painted in Thousand Suns. Oh dang! Oh cool, Nitrous Tag. That's really cool. But why does it matter? Fulgrim? Okay. Yeah, we'll pick. Yeah, Fulgrim's good. That's my choice too.
Alright, your choice against Fulcrum against what Primarch, Dad?
Fulgrim against what Primarch?
One that we haven't done yet.
Heh. Ferris Manus.
Who's that?
No. Rogaldorn. Rogaldorn.
Who's the Primarch of him?
Rogaldorn is the Primarch of the Imperial Fist.
Ooh, who would win?
Ferris Manus. Yeah. Rogaldorn against Fulgrim.
I bet Zendro will answer like straight away.
Yep.
Because he loves
Absolutely. He's obsessed with Rogaldorn, isn't he?
so.
He doesn't think about anything else.
Okay, if you want to do Rokodorn.
Dorn already beat Fulgrim. I still think Fulgrim.
What?
That's funny. Someone else said that. More Primarchs? Lorgar.
Who's that?
Primarch of the Word Bearers.
Ooh, Primarch of Alpha Legion versus Fulcrum.
Which one? There are two Primarchs of the Alpha Legion.
Oh, really?
They're twins, yep.
Okay, what are their names?
There's Alfarius and Omegon.
Both of them.
Both of them?
Both of them versus Fulcrum.
Both of them versus Fulgrim? Probably those two.
Okay, those two versus...
Versus Fulgrim.
But they already did that.
Dorn clears.
Who's that?
Dorn. Rogaldorn. Dorn is kind of a beast. He does kill Alfarius, maybe. In this setting. You don't know if it was Alfarius or just a Marine acting like Alfarius, or if it was Omegon, but nobody else knew about Omegon, so...
Alpha Legion betraying their two Primarchs, who would win? Two Primarchs or all of Alpha Legion?
Oh man, I don't know.
Space Marines. That'd probably be a pretty close match.
Just getting a rust going, or a verdigris going on here. Yeah, the Lion or Conrad
First of all,
Kurz.
let me take just a moment to thank you
Conrad
for
Kurz.
allowing
There's a
me back
correct
to your
answer
home.
to this one.
Really? Who is
Yep,
it?
Lionel Johnson or Conrad Kurz. Hey, thank you for the follow, Ron Sonite. Welcome.
Conrad Kurz, everybody.
It is Kurz. Yep, Kurz won that fight.
Really?
Yep,
Did he kill the other guy?
almost. Yep. So Kurz was killing Lionel Johnson, and then a Dark Angel captain, his name was Corswain, came and stabbed Kurz in the back.
Did he kill him?
No, he didn't kill Kurz. No, he survived that.
Wow.
He was playing dirty. He wasn't playing dirty though.
Really?
It was like a straight up fight. Yep. Timed unfollows lasted. Yeah. I got no skin in this game. I just listened to the story, but I'm a Thousand Suns fan, so
He definitely is. He knows everything.
I do not know everything about them, but like Thousand Suns. What's up, Groovy? Yeah, they were in a one-on-one duel. It was all one-on-one, and then yeah, it ended up to where Kurz was on Lionel Johnson strangling him. It was before that. It was before that whole thing. Fulgrim versus Rabute. Yeah, Fulgrim definitely. Fulgrim was a duelist.
What other legions are there? I think we ran out of Primarchs.
We didn't. There's
How many more are there?
there's a bunch. We got Jagged Eye Khan.
Sanguinius versus that guy.
Oh, see, that's a tough fight. Again, everybody likes Sanguinius. I don't think anyone would want to hurt him. But I'd have to give that to the Khan, I think. He's probably one of the better duelists.
I didn't know about Sanguinius till last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fulgrim did almost kill Reboot Gilliman.
What? When? In 40k?
It was a little after the Horus Heresy. But Fulgrim was a demon, his big snake demon guy. And Rabute didn't know it. He went on his ship and he went to fight him, and he found him, he's a big demon. He about killed him.
Was Gilman about to run when he's like, oh, I wasn't expecting this.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
No, he didn't run from him, but it was still like kind of a different thing.
Demon Fulcrum against normal Fulcrum.
He just wanted to talk. Demon Fulgrim against normal Fulgrim?
Yeah.
Demon Fulgrim already won that one.
Fulcrum? Demon Fulcrum against Demon Magnus.
Ooh, that's a good one. I think Demon Magnus.
What?
Demon Fulgrim is too concerned with, like, looking perfect and being all about himself.
Really?
Yep.
Hmm.
I think he'd be too distracted.
Ah.
That's sleepy, huh? Lots of verdigris.
There's a Fulcrum clone out there, is what so.
Fulgrim clone, yeah. It's true. Yeah, didn't Lorgar, like, didn't Angron come and help Lorgar? Wasn't that it? That was the thing, right? Yeah. Well, what about what's his name? Raven Guard guy.
How powerful is he?
Can you remember his name? Dang it, what was his name?
Somebody comment, please.
Yeah, Rabute is he's a good leader. He's not the he's not the Raven Guard guy.
Who?
One said Kurz.
What? The Night Lord.
Mm-hmm. Corvus Corax, that's who it is. Yeah, Corax.
How good is he?
He is a good fighter, yeah. He's very, like, sneaky, and he had, like, crazy jetpack and stuff. Good old Raven, yep. Just like Iron Hands, Primarch of the Iron Hands, who has Iron Hands. Yeah, I'm really interested who the next in seeing the next Loyalist Primarch.
Wait, there's a new Loyalist Primarch?
Well, in 40k, though they're kind of coming out with Primarchs every couple years, putting them out in 40k. So.
What?
Yeah, so the last Loyalist one was Lionel Johnson. So much debate on who the next.
It's like new.
Oh, it's characters that have been around. They're Primarchs. There aren't new Primarchs, but
Uh,
just them like returning into the setting of Warhammer 40k.
Vulcan.
Vulcan is another one that's a good possibility.
Because
Yeah, Edgar Allan Poe. Yeah. Since the recent Space Wolf releases, I think Lehman Russ is probably the most likely. Yeah, if he's a giant like demon werewolf creature, that'd be super cool.
wow, that sounds cool.
But if he ends up being giant demon werewolf creature, and then everybody's like, "Yeah, this is cool, yay, Space Wolves," then I'm not gonna be cool with that.
Why?
Because it'd be lame. Because Belisarius Call just starts making new Primarchs. That'd be pretty funny. Might as well, right?
There's only 11. Well,
There were 20. There are 18. Some of them are dead. So I don't know. There's what, 1, 2, 3. 3 of them are like dead, right?
which ones died?
Sanguinius,
What?
Horus,
What?
and Ferrus Manus.
Who's Ferris Manus?
Iron Hands Primarch.
Oh,
Got his head chopped off by Fulgrim.
well. That guy's so dead.
Yeah, he's super dead. yeah. There could be some interesting things, but okay. Some more rust. Yeah, a little more of this. So let's
Who's Perturabo the Primarch of again?
Perturabo is the Primarch of the Iron Warriors.
Is he a traitor?
Yes,
How bad?
very bad traitor. Like all the traitors are.
Badder than Horus?
How so?
Mm,
I mean, they're all evil.
but the most evilest one.
What's that?
Is he the most evilest one?
No, I guess Horus is probably the most evil if you're putting that.
Why?
Yeah, Magnus was a traitor and he joined Chaos and all that stuff, so yeah.
What?
Who's Ferrus Manus? Yeah. Not evil or just misunderstood. Right. Okay. Well, we got this rust on here. And this stuff is not dry, right? No. I don't want to mess with this while it's not dry. Yeah, Magnus definitely has the best reason. Yeah, because he was all like loyalist until like the very end, and
Really?
the Imperium just like hated him. Yeah, the Emperor was a punk.
Really? How was he a punk?
Well, Magnus knew Horus betrayed the Emperor and like joined Chaos and all this stuff. He saw it happen, like a vision. So he went to warn the Emperor that it was happening. The way he warned him was using like the warp. sorcery, and the Emperor had outlawed sorcery. But Magnus was like, I'm going to prove to him that sorcery's good and tell him about this betrayal all in the same time. So Magnus travels across the warp back to Earth or Terra, and then when he gets there, he like busts in and he tore down, like he destroyed this huge project that the Emperor was working on, this like big important thing. And so before he could even tell the Emperor like that Horus betrayed him, the Emperor was like, no, like I can't believe what you did this and all these things, and you should have known. It was a whole thing. It was, but nobody knew about it but the Emperor. But then Magnus is the bad guy at that point, and then the Emperor sent the Space Wolves to go bring Magnus back to like put him on trial on Earth. And on the way, the Space Wolves they had conversations with Horus, who they all thought was still loyal because nobody listened to Magnus. And Horus told the Space Wolves that, hey, you need to go kill Magnus and the Thousand Sons. You have to destroy him. That's what you have to do. Yep. And Lehman Russ and all the Custodes and everybody with him, instead of questioning that, they were just like, yeah, okay, that makes sense. So that's what they did.
And they joined the traitors?
The Space Wolves?
Yes.
Nope. But they did their dirty work for him.
How about the Custodes?
Yeah.
Did they join the evil?
Nope.
Weird.
It is weird, isn't it? But Magnus was never disloyal. Like, he did wrong things, but he wasn't disloyal. And then tried to destroy him. What's the difference between Magnus and other normal psychers? Power level to these different powers? Or that's just the warp? Yeah, just the power level. Like, Magnus can do way more. Like, he can just, like, destroy Titans and, like pull ships out of orbit and, like, crazy stuff like that. Because he's so powerful and has, like, control of it. Yeah, Horus is at fault, but also the Emperor. Where, like, Magnus is telling him these things, and then the Emperor is just like, nah, I trust Horus completely, and Magnus is completely in the wrong.
But Magnus survived.
He did, yeah. Him and quite a bit of the Thousand Sons survived, but their planet was destroyed.
Let's see what planet was.
It's called Prospero.
How many Thousand Sons were left?
I don't know.
What were the Thousand Sons in 40K?
Thousand Sons.
Yeah, but are they different?
They're a little different, yeah. The same people. But they all turned to dust.
Oh.
So they had a problem when they used their psychic powers. Sometimes they'd all turn into crazy chaos spawn. And like kill everything around them and everything. It was this horrible problem that happened. And Magnus like kind of fixed it, but not really. But they all thought it was done, and it started happening again on Prospero when they were fighting the Space Wolves. And so they wanted to stop it from happening, and this dude named Ahriman, who was like the first captain of the Thousand Sons, he did this huge spell, and it was called the Rubricae. It was supposed to stop them from being mutated, and it did, but it turned them all into dust. So they're just suits of armor with dust inside. So a lot of them like lost all their like consciousness and brains and everything and all that stuff.
So were they still smart?
Some of the like more powerful sorcerers kind of kept all their like abilities and stuff, but the other ones just turned into basically like robots. Yeah. What was the reason Space Wolves were allowed to have Rune Priest? Hypocrisy. That's what it was. They also had crazy warp tainted mutants, but nobody cared about that. Doing somewhere called Prospero, watch out for red. Yeah. Thousand Sons cannot recruit new Marines like other Traitor Legions do, since they're all dust. Right, yeah, I'm sure there's some kind of spell where they... Well, yeah, but they also, like, reanimate themselves, right? Or they can be reanimated by sorcerers, so they don't really need to make new ones. Ahriman does kill a Rune Priest on Prospero, and it's really cool. Because the Prospero's, like, going through the warp and stuff, and Ahriman just like attacks him and like kills him in the warp, which is pretty cool.
How did he kill him in the warp?
They saw each other in the warp. Like they were both like trying to do stuff, and Ahriman saw him and he killed him.
I go upstairs.
Yeah, you'll be done. I'll be done a little bit too. I'm gonna wait on some things to dry. I think it might be about it. I don't know if this is gonna dry in time, to be honest. But bye, painting son. Thanks for joining us. Good job on your painting. Getting those Marines together. Yeah, the psychic powers are pretty cool. There's in 3.0, and I hope there's like, yeah, I hope Armon gets some cool rules and everything. He leads a room priest into leading a group of 13th Company to fight with Grey Knights. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Yeah, Groovy, the whole like shamanist like using runes is like, it's like the Space Wolf excuse. But like they like go into the same warp, they use the same powers, they suffer the same ill effects from the warp. It's all the same. It's just the coding and the words that the Space Wolves use to justify it. Yeah, Darkest Sun, it's because hypocrisy. That's why. Because when GW writes their books, they have to move the plot forward, but they have to do it in a way that Space Wolves get to keep all of their things. Because if Space Wolves lose something, someone in GW like gets really mad about it, and they can't. Yeah, so they can't allow that to happen. Like James Workshop himself can't stand when Space Wolves have a second without like one of their things. So yep, Thousand Suns would have been the most powerful loyalist legion. They would have shut all the demon stuff down real quick. But no, they all die. They had to write their story. Yeah, and there's also like with the heresy books, there's a whole thing about like everybody knew where the story was going and like the major points, so they just had to fill those gaps in. Yeah, yep. Yeah, Horus knocked the Space Wolves and the Thousand Suns out of the war immediately. Yeah, this will be good. I think I'm going to do a lot of weathering, and then I'm going to paint all these shell casings. Perturabo has a whole bunch of shell casings here. We'll paint those afterwards. But this is a lot about, like, weathering. I'm going to do some dry brushing on this bronze and silver. And then maybe we do weathering first. Maybe I get some... Let's do this. Let's do this real quick. Where it's right here. I need this stuff. And we're going to use peat. That's the weathering material we're going to use. We're going to put this on everything. Everything on these bases. So, and here's how we use it. I use this fixer. And which I'm almost out. I need more of this stuff. But, and then this peat here. We're gonna mix it into like a slurry kind of thing, and then we'll put it over the base, and we'll build back up from there. So let me get my specific little tool here. Actually, Spudger's probably better for this. Fulgrim are supposed to recruit Ferris, not kill him. Yeah. Oh, I've not used this peat before. Horus, see, Horus literally got like handed the 9 or the 8 worst legions to try to lead in a rebellion. Like the loyalists were all like on the same team. They all had common goals. You know, and they had conflict, but for the most part, it was like, hey, we're defending the Imperium, and that's what we do. The the traitors, on the other hand, were like all just off doing their own ridiculous things. Like the Emperor's children during the Siege of Terra were busy trying to make drugs out of people. Like that's what they were doing. Um, and you know, the World Eaters were like unable to be controlled, and the Thousand Sons were just kind of doing their own thing, and they didn't want really to have a part in the actual rebellion. Magnus was like, you know, I'll just take over when it's all done. Like that's what I'm gonna do. And that was like, that was the traitor position of the whole thing. Yeah, yeah. The five loyalist legions were, you know, taken out right away. Were a big deal. Okay, we're gonna do more. Looks like chocolate powder, like cocoa powder. Yeah, we can give this the evening to dry, but let's, man, this stuff looks tasty. Hey, Joe from Minnesota, welcome in. I remember you do all the heavy lifting. Yeah. Yeah, and then they became like sore losers, right? Perturabo's a bad leader anyway. Okay. This is what we're doing, guys. We're putting the, we'll come back to it. I don't know. Maybe this is too much, but trying to warn Ferris Manus, yeah. The Eldar were trying to stop the whole thing. Yeah, didn't they warn Fulgrim about his sword, right? And he just tried to kill them all. See something here. Look up a timeline, yeah. Okay, that's getting somewhere. It's all a little samey, but let's do some more of that. This stuff will dry a lot differently too, so it should look really good when it dries. It just looks like paint at this point, but it dries into a really nice powder because of this this fixer pigment, or the fixer and the pigment together. Okay, next piece. Can't keep up with chat. It's moving too fast. Sort of the timeline. Oh yeah, you can definitely find timelines and stuff. It's the series is too practical to like. It's too big to like practically read. You know, to be like, man, I want to know about the Horus Heresy. Let me read all the books. That's just not. It's not in the cards for like a normal. Kind of schedule. But they're cool. You can definitely get like the beats on everything, or find certain characters that you like, and find their books and stuff. In a lot of ways, the most interesting characters in the Heresy aren't even the Primarchs. Like, they're all just a bunch of big man babies. That's all they are. It's like the regular people and even like the Space Marines and stuff. First 4 books are in order, that's true, yeah. Yeah, the audiobooks are another good way. The audiobooks are pretty good overall, so. Yeah, we'll let this dry, and hopefully this didn't just like screw our whole paint job, but we'll see. Looking pretty dark. It is looking pretty dark. I have not used this particular pigment. I do know that the desert pigment that I use on my Thousand Suns, it goes on really dark, like a dark khaki color, and it dries like a bright sand color. And it really pulls away. So, like, yeah, we'll see. I'll keep you guys updated. I think I'll be working on this dude through the weekend. I think wiping off the excess is it's definitely a good idea here. This stuff smells crazy though. Long stream today? Yeah. Oh, good. Glad I could help, Blue. I appreciate all the chatter today, guys. It's been nice. I love talking about Heresy stuff, so that's good. And thank you for indulging the painting son in his insane antics. He acts like I'm famous sometimes, and it's funny. It's like, you're on YouTube, and he freaks out about it. But yeah, it's nice to have you guys here, hanging out and keep me company. No, I'm never gonna update the slideshow again. Yeah, maybe one of these days. You guys post so many minis. You know, a good streamer would be updating that like once a week with all the crazy stuff you guys put out there, but I suck and I forget about things, so. If we can maintain... It's coming off, okay. If we can maintain like the white... on this. Too thick. Rip slideshow, yeah. I gotta keep the slideshow though, because like it's like the original things. My channel having that slideshow. You're having whole Chinese hot mustard powder? Oh no. Okay. Alright. So wipe this down here. And again, we're going to hope that this dries out in a manner that is, you know, conducive for what we want it. But nothing else, we'll build up our dry brush back up again, and we'll get these like hints of color through, because it's supposed to look gritty and old and destroyed previously in a battle. So this is Huge Miniatures pigment with Fixer. This is peat. It's this pigment. It's grimdark. Yeah. I'm still at it. Yeah. I am about to be done after this. This stuff has to dry for at least a couple hours, so. And I do think the typical advice with this stuff is you varnish your mini first, then you put this stuff on. Because if you wipe at it too much, it'll start eating away the paint, because the fixer is a solvent. But I'm not going to do too much of that. So it's my first time using peat. So using this like actual kind of mud effect. So we'll see how it goes. I'll give you an idea. This is about how light it'll dry. It'll end up looking like this. So you see the difference between this like hot cocoa mix and then what it's supposed to end up like. Yeah, so we'll see. But yeah, we got a bunch of gritty pieces here. There you go. It's already starting to dry. There you go. Yeah, it'll be cool. It'll be gritty. A little bit dry brushing over some of this stuff. It's gonna look really good. It'd stick to the lid if you scuffed it up. What do you mean? Not sure what you mean by that. The weathering powder. What lid? Like the lid of this thing? Oh, like if I put just some on the miniature just as a powder, is that what you're saying? Or if I put some up here, like if I scuffed up the lid. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's fine. It's all right. Yeah, you probably can. You probably just put some on the lid. Yeah, but it ends up just drying like this color. This is how it dries. The biggest challenge with these powders are the ratio of the fixer, of the medium to the actual powder, because you want it thin enough to where it doesn't just cake on, but you want it thick enough to where it doesn't just behave like a little like wimpy wash or whatever. And it's difficult to figure out the right consistency with that. And I don't know if I've quite figured out that consistency yet either. So it's definitely something that I have to learn. But that's looking good though. Okay. Yeah, we'll see. We're gonna see tonight. But did some work on here. We got Perturabo has a mini here. This gorgeous silvery man here. I want to paint his eyes sometime, and then I got to do the little lights up here. But he'll be about ready. We can probably varnish him and assemble him soon and be good there. But you don't want it to be mud. You don't want it to be a pin wash. Exactly. Yeah. It's difficult. That's the most challenging thing about this weathering pigment. You can just put the pigment on the mini and then put fixer on top. That's difficult in my opinion. You can just put the pigment on after you paint and varnish the mini and just let it settle. That works as well. And I do that a lot with my Thousand Suns around their feet and their bases, because you're never going to be able to touch the base or the feet on the base, just how the minis are. So I just put straight pigment on the minis and just let them go. But yeah, that's it. Man, that looks good. Like, I know it's monochromatic, but man, that looks dingy and rusted. I really like that. I'm gonna build up some of these colors again, but ooh, yeah, that's looking really good. Yeah. Anyway, with that, I think we're gonna call it for the week, guys. I'm gonna be back on Sunday. We'll do a Sunday night stream. I'm either going to finish up painting the Thousand Suns heavy weapons I was working on, or maybe work on this base a little more or something. But yeah, come chill in Discord, guys. Yeah, I'll be posting pictures. I'll try to keep you guys updated. Again, I want to put a little video on YouTube just showing you guys how I magnetize this mini and stuff. And we'll do that before we ship it out to the customer. But yeah, if you guys want to come chill in our Patreon Discord, we are going to do a giveaway next week, so be ready for a mini giveaway. We're going to do a 1-day paint and giveaway, so that'll be a thing, so you can stay tuned for details on how to enter for that. It's pretty easy to enter, but it'll be a great time. So you guys have a wonderful weekend though, and I will see you all Sunday night at 9 p.m. Eastern.